Hello and welcome to the Computer Game Show. My name's David Turner. I'm here with James Farley,
Hello.
Sean Bell,
Hello.
and a rather croaky but much cooler Matt Murray.
Hello, everybody. No, it's not that bad, but it is a little bit croaky. Yeah, sure.
And that's because you've been smoking so much because you now have a tattoo, a leather jacket,
And Sergio Giorgini. I'm very edgy.
It's after we played Days Gone, the remastered.
That as well.
It's just like-
Actually, it's because I got a tat now, James, and I call them tats. I call them tats. And,
That's not what you were calling them at the weekend. You kept saying, "I've got ink."
that as well. Oh, new ink day, my white boys. But yeah, I'm pretty edgy now, so fuck you. And what you do about
I would
it?
just like to say I am very aware that we have not shown off the design yet, and we will not be showing off the design until we've completed editing a video of this weekend's events. Please go to YouTube, subscribe to our YouTube channel, because that's where you'll see it first. We'll be uploading a video when, Sean?
I mean, it would be very funny to try and do it on Star Wars Day.
Yeah, on Sunday.
And
there we go.
when's that? That's Sunday, is
That'd be
it?
the
Sunday the...
yeah.
Oh, May the 4th, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Okay, so May the 4th, that's your deadline, Sean. Do you think you can... I didn't want to, force that on you because you're the one editing, but...
No, it should be fine. I mean, it's not like a documentary. It'll probably be about 2 minutes long by the time I'm
well,
editing.
we said no, at
That's not what you
least
promised
2
at the time.
hours.
Yeah,
Well, it
2
was
hours
going to be a
feature
bit
length.
longer, wasn't it, James?
Yeah, sorry about
Yeah, James was supposed to be in it, and he didn't quite make it. He was travelling back
It's
from
fine.
the
He was
UK.
literally travelling from one country to another, so it's fair.
Okay, fine. But can I just address something that really fucking confused me, James?
Yeah, go on.
Right. So we're in there. We get to the tattoo. We'll get to the Patreon producers in a minute. Don't you worry about that.
I mean, they're
can
important,
wait.
but it's not as important as this.
No. So we get to this tattoo place, and thankfully I know the two owners really well. So it was really nice to, sort of catch up, and it was, nice, relaxed. We didn't know someone else was going to be there getting a tattoo when we originally planned this thing, but someone was, and they were absolutely fine as well.
It turned out you knew them as well. That's not.
Yeah, that must have been really weird for you this weekend, Sean,
Yes,
because everywhere
Dave
we
knows
went,
everyone in London. turns out.
everywhere we went, I knew someone. There was 2 people canoodling outside of a pub, and I just went, "Kev," and he went, "Oh, hello, mate."
So it's Del Boy. It's the Del Boy thing.
Yeah,
Right?
it's a little bit Del Boy. It's a little bit Del Boy. I like to say to Sean, no, this is everyone I know, just condensed into a day. Like, that's it. There's nothing beyond that. This is just really weird. Anyway, we were in there, and the idea was to get interviews with Matt, get interviews with Mark, who was doing the tattoo, and we love the idea of having James on a laptop on FaceTime and interviewing him like that, and filming like the laptop on a chair or whatever. And and then you said you were running late and there was traffic and all this sort of stuff, and that's fine, right? You can't help that stuff, it's what happens when you're traveling home from the UK. But one thing really confused me because you said, "Oh, I shouldn't be too long now. I'm only 6 miles away."
Yeah.
And I went, "Okay, yeah, no problem." And then an hour later, I was still a nerd. I said, "How are you getting on?" And you said, "I'm on a ferry."
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, what?
Okay, let me explain. So
Thanks.
I made
Please.
I made an error in the
Oh, I knew it had to be a
No.
problem.
Okay,
Here we go.
here's what happened. Right.
Here we go.
So we stopped in the Netherlands, and we were like,
First
okay,
mistake.
we're gonna
mistake.
go. So and then because we stayed overnight there. I didn't want to do that. I'll be honest. I wanted to just drive all the way home, but Chen wanted to go and see some tulips, and I was like, sure, we'll go and see some tulips. So we went to a tulip field. It was
I can
rubbish.
imagine you just standing in the tulip field going, I do not give a fuck. I just want to be home now.
Well, no, it was also like it was me and Asher. We didn't bother going in because it was expensive. Like you had to pay to go in and like stand in the tulips.
So you
and
sat
I
in the
was like-
car?
No, we stood around outside and waited.
So, look, you see him from here anyway. What's the point?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Zoom in on your
That's the thing. I took a whole bunch of pictures just leaning over the fence, like with my camera.
Driving through a tulip field, like in Forza Horizon.
So then the idea was that then on Sunday morning, I was like, okay, let's leave. I want to leave early and I want to drive back. And I looked at the map and it had 3 possible routes to go back, right? and they were all about the same. Like they're about sort of around 4 hours or so, like 3.5 to 4 hours. From there, it's not too bad. And then see one of the routes, which is unfortunately the route I took, was 100 kilometers less than the other routes. But the reason for that is because it doesn't go not all of it was on major like motorways. Some of it was on like sort of country lanes and stuff like that. That's not a problem. But the biggest problem is that to get to where I live, you have to go over the Elbe, like the river, which is like pretty big. And
for those of you doing the James Farley tracking game, there's another big.
Where in the world is
James Farley GeoGuessr.
And so if you take the extra 100 kilometers, you have to go through a city and you go under a tunnel, and it's like, and I just thought, well, that's going to take a long time, to do that. So I'm going to take a different option, which is the ferry, because there's a ferry like where I live, that goes across. And I've done it before and it was fine. This time I got there and there was a massive queue of cars, and it took how long? About an hour and a half to get on the ferry, which was why I was late. And that's why when you said why, where are you? And I said I'm on the ferry. That's because I just literally got on the ferry after waiting for an hour and a half. It was very irritating.
At what point did you realise that you were going to be on a ferry when you said I'm 6 miles away? Because I said
no.
This is what I said to Sean. I said, surely when you're saying you're 6 miles away and you knew you were getting on a ferry, you should go, I'm 6 miles away, but fucking hell, I've got to get on a ferry.
No, but that was the thing, because last time I got on the ferry, I just drove straight on it, and it was fine.
Okay.
And it was totally fine, but this time it was packed with lots of people doing do you know what they're mad about here? I mean, this is probably a massive generalisation, but
probably. I love the fact that probably
Sweeping statements incoming, everyone.
is involved.
Cancellation. Let's go.
Yeah.
In the area that I live, people seem to really like going away in those like caravans. Like the and there was just tons of those like everywhere, and it was ridiculous. There was a lot of them.
Oh.
Nothing wrong with that.
I said to Sean, James went, do you want me to do a FaceTime from the ferry? And Sean was like, no, the reception's going to be outrageous. I was like, yeah, of course it is.
That's what I said. I said yeah, it's probably no good because
It's probably still better than Premier Inn. I don't know. Travelodge.
Yeah, almost certainly. Yeah, it's yeah, but I felt terrible about it because I really wanted to be involved, but it got screwed up.
That's right. In a way, you were involved.
Yeah, you were the reason why he was getting it done.
Yeah.
Thanks to you, I have permanent ink on my body now. Thanks to you, James. So you should be sorry.
Should have taken that bet. It's Do you want to do another one?
Yes, tonight.
He actually does.
All weekend I'm doing another one on Monday. 2 tattoos this time.
But that video will go up on our YouTube channel by the time the next show's out. So make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel to catch up.
I'll do a little tiny teaser clip as well for Instagram, so you'll see it there. But YouTube's where you get the full thing.
Whoa! You're not showing the design on Instagram, are you?
No.
Good. We've already cut that up because we were supposed to be showing James the final product today, and we posted it in a WhatsApp group that we forgot he was in.
Yeah. Look at this. Shit.
Anyway, we'd like to sort of start the show by thanking our Patreon producers this month. They are Aaron Patrick, the QuickBooks chap, Simon Nelson, Moomin Biscuit, Trans Rights to Human Rights, Dave Ernsberger, Colin Brown, Gasman, Rocketman76, Smooth Monkey, John Tempelli, Jackie Sniper, Sam Heaton, Tom S, Stan, Philip with an F, Cutty, Steve Lee, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Man, Jack Oven, Grey Dragon Claw, Colin the Car Wanker Smith, Lee Keybottom, My Dog Skip, Dean, and Steve the Nuke Littler. They've gone full Nels over on our Patreon, patreon.com/TCGS. We thank you so much for your support. We really do mean that. Remember, if you sign up to our Patreon, there are tons of bonus pods that you can download and catch up with, including an episode where we interview Mark from Wicked Inc. in Sutton, who scarred Matthew permanently on just yesterday.
A mere 24 hours ago.
A mere 24 hours ago. We also are going to be playing Mario Kart for the final time. Mario Kart 8 for the final time. I'm definitely going to be playing a lot of Mario Kart this year. There's no doubt about that. But for the final time for our Patreon subscribers, if you've got the right tier, we will be playing that tomorrow night. So last night by the time you're hearing this, but you would have had a message on Patreon to tell you all the details about how you can join us.
Yes. Literally join us as well. Like play with us and all sorts. So
all sorts.
And all sorts.
And all
Play
sorts.
with us and more.
Until completion.
patreon.com/TCGS if you'd like to support the show. Right, should we get some feedback from last week's show, Matt?
Yes. They didn't all love it before you ask. Friends fan,
Didn't ask
David,
for it.
you idiot. You got the Phoebe thing wrong. She thought all films were nice until her mum turned them off before the bad ending. Not the other way around, you twat. Stop getting Friends wrong.
This was me, by the way. I sent this in because I was listening to the podcast back. And I realized. So also, Sean, I know you copied these across. Thanks for fixing the typos on this one because when I read it back as it went through, I was like, oh my God. But I was sitting there just hating myself. I was listening to me talk. You're getting Friends wrong, David. It's the opposite of what you're saying. So I felt at that. Right. I've got a question then. This is the first time I've ever, on my life, first time I've ever used our own contact form.
Oh, yeah. How was it?
Have any of you?
No.
I did a test
I've
it.
seen
But
it, obviously, but I've never...
yeah, we did a test in the beginning. Why does it not work? It works,
You
right?
don't want to admit that you got a little bit of an alias that you've been, every now and then you've posted?
Maria?
Oh, shit.
Well, Maria Mendieta, MM. Starting to piece things together, Sean. I don't know about you.
Oh, no. You've caught me.
I think I might have. Sorry, that was me. Yeah. I'm glad I got it through, though, because I didn't tell any of you guys.
Yeah, that's good. Okay,
Well, because
Sam,
I nearly didn't include it because I was a bit harsh. So Dave's own internal monologue would be censored by me if I had the choice.
I was hoping you'd have changed like twat to twit instead. You know?
Dave, you absolute
I'm surprised I
nincompoop.
didn't typo it, James. Okay.
Sam Saute Pan, are we still doing the kitchen stuff? Yes, we are. We are still doing the kitchen stuff. Feedback specifically for David. Is this also you, David? Did you write this as well?
No, I didn't write this one. No, I've only ever done it once, and it was that one.
Oh no, this was mine. This one was mine.
Feedback,
We know you
especially
will
for
put a
David.
fucking effort into anything, James. Don't lie.
When you suggested a cool series about Sean's vasectomy, you floated the name Vasectomy Cools, not Balls Cools, rookie error. Also, on a non-joking note, I just want to say I actually found the pod through Marvel Cools and would love for you to return to that or another long franchise cool series. Don't retire the Cools, I love them. And this other one as well, Chunky Monkey. I have a name suggestion for the upcoming Cools series documenting Sean's vasectomy testicles. You can have that one for free.
That's the best.
I'm fairly sure I've said that. I'm fairly sure that's been mentioned, surely, but a great name nonetheless.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Sorry, you what?
Or
Matt's trying to take credit for them.
Maybe
Why
like
Matt's
follicles.
trying to take credit of
I
that?
think it was
Yeah.
follicles I said, actually,
I'm
but yeah,
pretty sure I
just as
said
good.
that, yeah.
Just as good.
No,
might do that more
it's
often.
different. You can't just say, "Yeah, I'm pretty sure I said that at some point."
I
You
thought
can't
of it,
do
I just
that.
didn't say it out loud.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably up there with my kind of level of, humour, but yeah, no. I think we should, though. I mean, we've got an expert.
I don't see how we'd get a full call series out of me just having a vasectomy.
We could be a one-off, limited series.
I suppose. Well, you could do-
David's the expert. It's perfect.
I'm the
It's your first time.
You could do the day of the procedure, and then, was it 3 months later when you do the test, just to make sure you got no stragglers.
We're hoping there won't be an episode called Complications.
Yeah.
You know, just like-
Or baby calls. Is it full general anesthetic or what?
I thought you were going
Oh,
to
no,
say
it's
something
local.
else then.
Oh, local.
No, it's
Damn.
not.
Well, I
general
don't know.
anaesthetic.
Because I was hoping we could record a bit where Sean comes off the anaesthetic and he's like talking all sorts of mad shit and he's like trying to interview him.
Well, we could
Oh, it's
just
just
record
like-
me just having the thing done during the procedure. I don't think they'd allow that somehow.
Hi, listeners. We are
can
not
ask.
doing this. Don't worry. For those of you sitting there going,
Well, we've planned
"Are they really
loads."
serious?" We're not thinking about doing this.
I might contact the hospital.
For starters, this is all bonus show material, if anything. We're going to charge for it, baby.
Okay.
Okay.
Alan Patrick,
Sorry.
go on.
No, go
I
on.
was gonna say,
No,
do you reckon
let's hear
anyone's
it.
started having a vasectomy and then just got their phone out and just gone live on Twitch? So, hey, everybody,
I'm almost certain.
currently panning around.
Almost.
Thanks for the bits.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alan Patrick, the QuickBooks chap. Credit where credit is due. As a Full Else member, last week's podcast was a pinnacle for me. Having James read out our names was, without doubt, a membership highlight. But it did make me think, have we peaked too soon? What comes next? How can we top this? Is our membership still even worth it? Before a mass exodus, I would like to suggest a fresh legend reads out our names every so often to keep us on our toes. There's more, but we'll come back to that.
I mean,
also,
I
we'll
kind
get
of
like
feel a
a
bit hurt by
celebrity.
that, Aaron. I'm not going to lie, Aaron Patrick. I kind of feel a little bit hurt by that, don't I?
Could anyone other than Dave do it?
Please, we are sick of it.
Is that something people want? Should we rotate it? Because then I've
do.
kind of got nothing left, have I? That's kind of it now.
Yeah, I mean,
Only bit
what
of
we
the
could
show.
do is, we can get celebrities on Cameo just to do the Full Else every week.
Yeah,
Maybe we should just
follow, though,
rotate
you see.
all the features, all the bits of
Okay.
the pod. We just rotate it, and then every 4 weeks, I'll be, oh fucking hell, I've got to do the news again. Fuck's sake.
Whoever's on socials, Dewey, that's an easy job.
That's true.
I'll carry
You're
on
on
with Aaron.
socials duty all the time, aren't you?
Yeah, no, but I'm saying if we rotate it, as Sean just suggested.
Okay, all right, maybe we will. Maybe we will. I'll have a think, Aaron. I'm still the main one here, so I'll make the decision.
He's certainly up there. Okay, Aaron continues. Also, regarding the Switch 2 pre-orders, Nintendo is the only one to blame. They started with such promise. Only allowing the first pre-orders based on hours played was a great idea. However, it quickly turned into the Wild West. If Nintendo had set a specific time and date for all stores to release the pre-orders, then we wouldn't feel the need to hold multiple pre-orders just to be safe. It's madness, but Nintendo never seems to learn. Finding the Wii anywhere near launch window was a nightmare. Fingers crossed that everyone gets a console launch. I have to confess, at one point I had 3 pre-orders made at different times over the past 2 weeks, starting with very suspect stores before I finally got a Nintendo pre-order, and guilt sank in and I cancelled the rest. With a little bit of planning from Nintendo, I wouldn't have been one of the problems. Keep up the great work, lads. From Aaron Patrick.
I spent ages on my Switch. I'm surprised I'm not up there. I didn't even
I think
get a
no,
sniff.
it's
But aren't
it's,
you're part of James's family, aren't you?
Yeah,
James's
that's
son.
why.
He only goes
Yeah,
to the
you need
main
to be the account
person.
holder.
Again, that's kind of like, really? Is
Yeah,
that?
it's-
Yeah, shit. I did get an email once they were open properly to like pre-order that, and then the GameCube controller. So, but I didn't bother. It was
that when you
tempting,
say
but-
that, what do you mean? You got a Switch 2 pre-order thing?
No, I got an email saying here's your window. You can pre-order now, and also pre-order the
right.
the GameCube
See,
controller. But at that point,
I
had
think there's going to be
17.
plenty. I honestly think there's going to be plenty. I think this console's been ready for a while, you know.
I don't think it's in news, but do you see that in Japan there's like a lottery, and there's like 2.2 million people that applied to get the consoles over there.
This is in the news, yes.
Oh, it is. Okay. Well, okay. Forget I said that in.
In fact, it's the lead story, Matt.
Oh, is it? Well, I just read something about the Switch 2 and it wasn't specific about Japan.
I mean, in response to the bit about Nintendo never learning, I think the Wii was an edge case, right? Because the demand for that was pretty unprecedented.
Yeah.
Like, that was wild how well the Wii did. I don't think anyone really saw that coming.
Yeah, which ones? I can't actually think of any other Nintendo consoles apart from the Wii that have been very difficult to get hold of at
No, I
launch.
mean, the Wii U was fine, obviously. No,
Yeah.
no struggle getting hold of one of those.
The GameCube was easy. That
GameCube
wasn't.
was fine.
I mean,
the original
that's-
Switch, I don't recall
yeah.
any problems there.
Yeah.
Only because I'd ordered multiple, but because I mean, yeah, like the fact that stores can release their stock or their pre-orders whenever is always a bit of a wild west and a bit crazy. But
I mean, the one that I found was the most stress-inducing was the Xbox 360 launch. That was the one.
360 launch was bad because I missed the opening to the PS5 launch. The months that followed that were horrendous. It was so hard to get console after that for months. It was crazy.
I remember the PS2 being difficult. I was living in Bognor at the time, and I had to pre-order it in I think it was Argos or Game in Portsmouth. So not exactly around the corner, but I
See,
remember
that was before my day one days. Like I got the PS2 later on because
same here.
I wasn't buying it all myself. It was like my parents getting it, half of it for Christmas
Right.
or whatever. But yeah, I can't remember the first console I bought day one. It was, what was first, the Wii or the PSP? It's the PSP, right?
I don't know.
What
Yeah,
came
I don't have a
first,
PSP.
the Wii or the PSP?
the classic question that everyone's been asking for years.
It must have been the PSP because that launched around the same time as the DS, right? Like it was around that, and the DS was out before the Wii.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. So North America and it's released in
so
Europe
September
in
in
2005. Yeah,
2005.
2005. Yeah, and the Wii was
2007.
2006.
really. Oh my God, we're supposed to 2006,
2006,
November
yeah.
2006. Yeah.
Fuck
Yeah. So I think the PSP was the first day one console. But oh no, of course it's probably DS. Who cares, David? No one fucking cares. This is all
Send some more
pointless.
feedback in for himself.
Yeah, I remember walking through Portsmouth with that PS2 in my bag and like hearing stories about it says for £1,000 on eBay. I was like, no, I want Fantavision actually, so I'm going to play it.
Did you? That's unlike you, don't you? You went through a period of flipping consoles, didn't you?
Yeah, I did buy extra PS3s, maybe PS3s. Yeah, I bought a few of them.
Yeah.
Money bag.
Oops.
Yeah. What a wanker.
I was hoping you were going to say, yeah, back in the 90s.
It wasn't money back, Sean. It was credit cards thinking I'd be clever, and it wasn't clever.
All those kids without the console that they wanted.
I remember, I think it must have been, was it PS3? I went into anyone in Leeds, it was White Rose in Leeds, and I picked up my pre-order from Sainsbury's. I mean, what a man place to get it. And I was like, have you got any more? Because, yeah, we've got like 3 more. I was like, I'll take one more.
Matt, were you also one of those people that was like selling PS3 boxes and stuff on eBay?
No, I haven't got the space. I would if I had the space. Yeah, and I took that other it must be PS3, and took it straight to a CEX and made £40.
Nice.
So that paid for McDonald's that day.
£40. Yes, yeah, let's move on.
Yeah. Ronnie O'Sullivan has messaged the snooker player. Read the Golden Age / Era chat on this week's episode. I became a new listener to the podcast while David was on paternity leave and was completely oblivious to who he was until he returned. I must admit to loving the show when hosted by Sean, James and Matt. Will David ever admit that they did a good job in his absence? Keep up the good work. Love, Ronnie.
The answer to that is no.
Don't need it.
You seem genuinely hurt by that.
Don't
Sean.
need it.
It's true though.
Yeah, we've got listeners for that. Don't need David to say, "Oh, you did all right."
Yeah,
You've got a listener.
for itself.
No, we got Ronnie O'Sullivan at the very least,
Ronnie
and
O'Sullivan.
he's a well-known
Patreon
snooker
launch.
player. So up yours.
It's not him, Matt.
You don't know
It's
that.
not him. You know when I asked earlier,
Hang on,
did
is it
anyone-
you again, David?
has anyone else messaged
Have you done every bit of feedback this week, David?
Have I done everywhere feedback?
Every bit of feedback, is it you?
Oh right, is that, have you done everywhere feedback?
I'm writing that down.
Is that what I said, or is that what David heard?
I don't know. It's probably what I heard. I think it's
It
probably
doesn't
what I
even
heard.
matter anymore.
Shut your cake,
Things
Alden.
have changed.
No, that area for the podcast was dreadful. Next.
Not true. Cat litter box.
What, you don't remember? Hold on.
Oh,
You don't remember that there was 20 minutes before each news segment where they said, "Do you remember when they had, gummy
When you
balls?"
say they,
And
do you
the
mean
gummy
Sean
balls
in
were-
this case? I mean, I wouldn't. Let's not, tarnish all of
Feed
us.
the gummy balls to me like news, and
People love
every
that.
fucking week.
Every
were
time,
great, I
every
love
time
that.
It was
you're off,
always
people are like,
deeply
"Oh, is he gonna do a
sexual."
news intro?" And I'm like, no, because they were annoying.
Right. And look who said that they liked it in the chat. Are you proud of yourself?
Yes.
Ben says that he likes it. Is that the?
Ben's
that's-
a good
that's-
listener
Yeah, it's a good egg.
okay.
All right.
Bring them back.
and a great mod.
So what you say off there? I'm joking, Ben. I'm joking.
Yeah.
Go on.
Cat litter box. On the spoilers chat, whenever there's highlights uploaded to YouTube by the official channels, i.e. Premier League games, darts, Formula 1, etc., they spoil it in the title, and that fucks me off. I mean, yes, I mean, I do get that. But, I mean, I guess that's true. I mean, that's why you don't go to YouTube or social media, to listen to the radio.
Because I thought the thing was to not spoil it, but just be like, "You'll never guess what such and such does in this scene. Watch to the end."
Yeah, there's not that clickbaity for match of the day highlights, is it?
Yes.
No, but
Guess who scored a 50-yard screamer? Question mark.
Actually, can you? So,
one.
Sean, for this video, can you add that to the video where it just says "wait for the end"? Like dot
Yeah,
dot
watch
dot.
till the end. Oh, it's 2.5
I
hours
hate
long.
that. The last one will surprise you. The thing that like in EFL highlights videos, they used to put the score at the start.
Yeah,
It's
what's
like,
the
don't
point?
do that. Even if I know what the score is now, when I watch this back in 10 years' time, I don't want it just spoiled at the start when I hit play. You mad? Yeah, it's quite upsetting, but there you go.
Carry on,
Okay.
though, don't we?
Yeah,
We get
We
through
manage.
it.
We manage.
We get through
We
it
do. It's
together.
not easy, but we do it. Everyone knows my
I'm
name.
signing a petition, Sean.
That's good because they really help.
Yeah, but when is it?
Stop for 1 second.
What does Sean
can you
say?
put my auto adjust off.
Oh, is it on?
Yeah, it's really fucking up my recording.
Oh yeah, there it is. Off.
Is the first 50 minutes you'll be like, hello?
No, if anything, it's going to be too quiet.
It's
so
all right. Well,
I
I'll
need
run it
to-
through a
That's
compressor, so
fixable, isn't it?
Probably fine.
Okay, all right.
It's all right. It's all
Yeah,
right.
but put on a crazy robot voice so we can,
Yeah, yeah,
so we
no,
can
I
talk
don't wanna be
smack.
like-
And
Yeah, no, my
Why
main
is everyone talking
concern
about
is
Matt's voice? Dave sounds fucked.
my main concern is that when I put my audio gate in, when it's that quiet, it starts chopping off bits of words and stuff. It's like
Well, just
really
don't worry
fucked.
about it. I'll just don't bother putting the gate in. I'll sort it at my end.
Okay, cool. All right, cheers, mate. Right, okay. So if we move on to the next one.
okay. Everyone knows my name is next person. I like Geordie Greep. I cannot go with David to see him. I'll arrive about 7 p.m. I want Dave to get there no later than 10. I want him to sit down next to me as if by chance. I want it to seem like we've never met before. I want him to shoot a smug look at the other gig goers to make them jealous I chose him. I want him to put his hand on my knee. Don't worry, we won't do anything. Will that be all right? How much will that cost? Thank you so much.
That will be all right. Thanks for that. That is absolutely superb, and only 3 people in the world will get it.
Yeah, Dave had to explain it to me yesterday.
Yeah.
Also, go full Nelson. This could be possible.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we get the. Can we have a Geordie Greep tier, please? Full no, he's going full Greep.
Yeah, what's no? Can we call him like Geordie Creeps? Does that work?
No,
I think it would.
Sounds like we're having to go
I
at
do
people from
wonder.
Newcastle.
I do wonder if any of this stuff gets back to the person involved. You know, when we start referencing people that are just not associated with the show and would never listen to the show anyway, is there a friend of Geordie Greep that goes, they're talking about you on this video game show like every week at the moment, and I don't know why.
There must be. I know we've said this before. There must be at least one celebrity who listens to this.
Well, we've got Ian.
Well,
Does he not count?
Apart from the ones we,
Well,
I don't want to like
celebrity.
name check people we do actually know, but do you know what I mean? Like someone we don't know of.
Part of me thinks Premier League, not Premier League, professional football player.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
got
That
to
would
be a
be
professional
great.
football player out there that listens to this pod.
I mean, other than Tiny Tim.
Oh yeah.
Apart
yeah,
from
sure.
Tiny
Apart from
Tim.
Tiny Tim, we know about them.
And the problem is that we're a victim of our own not success of
Yeah,
our own
big
systems
success.
here, because say Wayne Rooney listens, not a professional football player anymore, but say Wayne Rooney listens, when he messages in, we're just not going to believe
Yeah, we'll
it.
just be like,
You don't now, David.
Wayne
David,
Rooney.
there's going to be 20 Wayne Rooney messages next week. now. I'm the real one, though.
If you've got a popular account or whatever, just tweet about it. We need all the help we can get.
Yeah,
And if
please. We
you're
are
listening and
desperate.
going, hey, I could change these guys' lives, but I'm choosing not to on a daily basis, that worries me. Even if it's just a DM. Just DM on
Yeah, we
Insta or
won't
Twitter.
go on about it. We won't tell anyone.
We
our
will. We fucking will, Sean. Are you kidding me? Someone really famous messages us.
Well, because
What
it
if
must be
someone-
like if you're famous and,
Well, like
you,
The
and
Rock.
you enjoy something like this shit, you'd probably think like if I publicly declare that I like it, that's like an
Yeah.
endorsement.
Yeah.
And if
Which
you're
is good,
if
which
you're
is-
if you're so
as it
famous
should.
that you recommending stuff is like a product, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
If you're paid to recommend stuff.
And also the Universal have shareholders, and if I tweet out "listen to TCGS," they'll my net value will
Crash
plummet.
Hollywood overnight.
Yeah. No, we got Ian and Blake. That's all we need. That's
Yeah.
all we need.
They're the biggies.
They're the biggies.
Last bit of feedback. Bilbo Baggins. Am I to understand that Matt has purchased a spectacular new rig and he's not using it for gaming? Is he mad? What's happening? Is any of this real? I have played a game on it. I just, I mean, mean, there's lots of stuff to play on consoles, but no, I've said 1,000 fucking times. I bought it to the pod. I'm no worries. I can do it. I can edit easily. Things export nice and quickly. The gaming's a bonus, but it's going to last a long time.
You could get everyone off your back by just saying like, yeah, do you know what? I will at some point.
Well, no, because when there is like a Steam game that's Steam only, I'll 100% play on this. I've been playing a little bit of Cyberpunk. I mean, this is probably going to make things worse, actually. But not only am I not playing games, or haven't up to this point, because I've been playing on console and or busy. Last week I also overclocked the PC. I overclocked it.
You spent all this money to get a more reliable machine, and then you've done something that's definitely going to make it less reliable.
No. It's
reliable.
reliable.
This is going to end in tears. Like, it's going to.
Yeah.
What is just for look? I've heard that phrase all the time, right?
Yeah.
And my understanding is you're getting rid of some sort of limitations so it can really, go
faster than it was.
Go faster than it's intended to, right? But how do you even fucking do that? Like, I haven't got a clue.
Doesn't it void the warranty?
No, sorry. No, just what I'm saying is I haven't overclocked it, everyone. Okay, I haven't overclocked it.
Okay.
I mean,
I don't believe you, Matt.
If I have, I mean theoretically I've overclocked it. That's what I mean. I mean, no, the warranty is legit because I haven't actually overclocked it.
How do you theoretically overclock it?
He's overclocked it. He's trying to save when Toshiba or whoever make
Toshiba
these days.
Yes, yeah, it's actually
It's a winning. He'll get Dell on the phone.
Yeah, this Tandy PC, I can't lose the warranty. No, yeah, I've overclocked it. No, I use a program called MSI Afterburner. You can like move some figures and it's fine. Hasn't blown up yet.
Yeah, I could just type numbers or just put 9999. Yeah.
I mean, I did put really big numbers this one actually. There's people around like put like 250, 50. I was like, about 500, mate. How about that?
Oh, thank God.
Stick it out of your pipe.
Computers, so that joke stands. Joke stands.
Anyway, yes, I like the fact I've got an option of playing games. I haven't yet, but if there's a game that's only on PC, then I'll play it. But it wasn't for that. It wasn't meant for that.
What, the overclocking or the PC?
That I just wanted to see what it felt like.
Were you overclocking for the podcast?
I was overclocking right to make that fucking Half-Life RTX demo work, and it's still a framey mess. I hate that. It's made me hate the game that I love.
Sean and I had a little discussion in the pub at the weekend where Sean just came out and flat out asked me a question straight, no beating around the bush.
I don't remember this. Go on.
You were hammered, Sean.
He asked me, do you think Matt and James have a PS5 Pro? Yes or no? Do you remember that now, Sean?
Yeah, I do.
My answer, ladies and gentlemen, we'll never get the right thing out of him. James has got one, and Matt is getting one at the end of the year.
100% get one for GTA. 100% get one for GTA.
It's just over here.
Take a photo of it, please, and put it in the group.
Okay.
Why would I hide it?
Thumbs up.
I mean, I think James has.
The thing is,
James has got one as well. Actually,
James might still be able to get a picture of his. Remember, because we said we reckon Ash has got the old PS5.
Yes.
So is he now just going to take a picture of Ash's PS5?
Yeah, that's true. Let's see if it's got Ashes written on it.
Yeah, in crayon.
Or he's looking for a picture of an old PS5.
Are you Googling PS5 stock images?
That was pretty quick. I'm
there you go.
I'm willing to believe him if he's done.
You got two PS5 Pros. What the fuck is this picture? No. Yeah, I've not got one yet, but I'll put one for GTA because I'm a mug. Anyway.
Okay, so he
I haven't
has
got
sent
one.
a photo of a PS5, and it's just reminding me how horrific that machine is.
It is massive, yeah.
It's
not as big as you think, though.
It is, though.
Yes, James. That's what you said in the unboxing.
That was a callback to the unboxing, yeah.
Yeah, big space stuff.
Okay.
That is it for feedback. Go to tcgs.co/dear TCGS. Leave your feedback.
James, let's get on with the news. It's your moment to shine.
Yeah, so, Nintendo Switch 2 is apparently going to be the biggest console launch in history, according to analysts. They're saying that they're predicting 6.6 million Switch 2s are going to be sold at launch, and this is comparing to the previous sort of record holder for this, which was the PS4 and the PS5, which sold around 4.5 million within the first 2 months of launch.
One of them's a winner there, because one of them's better than the other, isn't it? One of them sold more than the other. They
Yeah,
did sell the exact same units.
I think
didn't
it was apparently it was very close, but the PS5 didn't. I don't think it sold as many, but apparently it was stock constraint, and that was the reason why.
Right.
Yeah, they didn't sell as many on.
Yeah, I was so wrong about that. I think when they announced a £450 console, I was like, there is no way the PlayStation 5 is going to sell as well as the PS4 did at launch, and it at least matched it, which went against what I thought was going to happen anyway. And I think they've proven that people are willing to pay this amount of money for a new console. And when you look at how popular Switch is, they're going to sell a lot of Switch 2s. There's no doubt about that.
Especially in Japan, as Matt was talking about earlier, because the Shuntaro Furukawa, has said that like a significant number of players in Japan are going to miss out on getting their pre-orders because they've got like 2.2 million already have applied for it from My Nintendo, and through their pre-order lottery, and that probably not everyone's going to get it, so it's going to be a while until these all happen. But I mean, this kind of surprises me a bit. Like, I'm kind of surprised that it seems to be such a thing that people want in a big way.
Well, why wasn't it 100? How many Switch ones are 140 million sold? Isn't crazy?
There is that, but then there's the whole like constant drop the price, and all that kind of thing in America. But then in America, they seem all desperate.
But that's
to
just
buy
a
one.
vocal
minority.
Most
of which will probably still buy it. You know what people are like.
I don't think
gamers.
people even like the chicken jockey as much as they say, James, to be honest with you. That's what I'm thinking.
There's people are still going to pre-order, and that's probably, it's a vocal minority. But yeah, it's always going to be big. But I think less about it's more like the world's economy. Was that ever going to affect it? But I mean, no, I guess not.
So there was that exactly. I was wondering. I just thought, things are not easy at the moment, and you just think, like spending that, it's quite a lot, for one of these. But
I'm sure there's been studies, but in like these tight financial times, I wonder if people are like, look, I'd rather just like not buy other things, not go out, not do buy these other luxuries. If I buy this and I know I'll have it for years, and happy to kind of take the hit on this, but go without other things. And I'm sure that's probably the case in some aspects, but
I do think there is also more of an incentive to buy one early this time than there has been.
Well, yeah,
ever
early
before,
adopters do well, like PS5, like.
Yeah, whether it's going to go up in price again, at some point, it's probably makes sense to try and get one sooner.
Yeah, it's weird. It's the completely opposite, where if you buy it day one, you'll pay loads of money and they'll go down the next 2 or 3 years. But now with PS5 showing us, it's £100 cheaper to buy it on day one as it was.
Yeah. But also, I mean, as Darren Gargett says in the chat, Japan have that region-locked version as well, which is cheaper, which is another reason why they're probably selling very well there. But I guess we'll see what happens. I mean, the other thing that's come out from this is that we've got more clarity now on Switch 2 edition upgrades and how much they're going to cost for various things.
Right.
And so like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom are going to be like $7.99 each, like to upgrade it to the Switch 2 edition. Or you get, if you're part of the Switch Online Plus expansion pack, you get them as part of the subscription, so you don't have to pay extra. But then the thing, then Kirby and the Forgotten Lands and Mario Party Jamboree, they're going to cost £17 or $16.99. For upgrading those. And it seems to, the rationale seems to be that they're adding like a fair bit of content to each of those, so that's why it costs more. But it seems that maybe there's just going to be variable pricing on this, I guess, over the.
I feel like I've probably paid more for expansions in the past. I don't think that's too unreasonable. Am I?
In my head, I'm like, oh man, this could be 20 or 30 quid. Obviously, with PlayStation upgrades, they were just a tenner, and
but then that was just frame rate and everything improvements, right? Whereas this is the we're talking about the ones that have
the ones that have actually extra content. Yeah. I mean, maybe again, I think I said this on WhatsApp. I'm so Nintendo pilled that $16.99 seems like a bargain.
Well, yeah. Maybe there's part of me that's just like, oh, good, I'm not being completely ripped off.
Yeah, great. I'll pay 16 quid. Why not? I mean, I love Kirby and Forgotten Lands.
I think I'd want to do this with.
I love Kirby so much, and I would love extra content, so that is tempting. Super Mario Party Jamboree, I would like to play it in general. I reckon me and Eddie have a good time with it. But
yeah, there's just not much there that I give a shit about. James, not give a shit about. They're great games, but they're not ones that I ever really return to.
But
what they're offering is not going to be mind blowing.
But
I think-
if you've played as a Mario and maybe get the tour thing, we're like, oh, I'd like to see what else the console can do. Maybe I will buy one upgrade.
The
And,
sort of thing.
Well, yeah, just because there's knack all else to do.
yeah, exactly. I reckon they were like, might as well. I better get loads of. I mean, these are probably quite popular because people are like, I want to play something else on this machine. What do I do?
But then there is.
God,
I mean,
I've had a total mind blank. Are all my existing eShop owned games going to be just available day one on this thing?
yes.
Most.
Well,
of
yeah,
them.
most. There's
So
that massive.
I could play Lumines. I could play Lumines
Yes.
Remastered.
I mean,
Theoretically,
there
yeah.
was a massive
that'll be that
compatibility
then.
list.
Oh,
So,
was there a list?
That'll be
Okay.
that.
Yeah,
There
I'm
is
sure
the number of
most of them
games that are not compatible is really. It's mostly the stuff that's with that uses the IR.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
know we initially said that, but then I heard the stuff about how like technically it is running original Switch stuff through an emulation layer. So I was a bit worried that actually there's going to be more incompatible stuff. But yeah, fair enough.
Okay, James, just a quick one while we're talking about the Switch 2. What accessories are you getting for yours? What are you
I'm
going
getting the
for?
Pro Controller and I'm getting a memory card. That's what.
You're not getting a screen protector.
No.
I will
Ooh, I'm getting
sort of recommend getting a screen protector. Like, I mean, obviously you know the Switch more than anyone, but I'm surprised at how many scratches there are on my OLED, and I don't take it anywhere, and I can only assume it's from taking it in and out of the dock.
Yeah, that's possible.
And I'm like, it's so fucking annoying. So yeah, I'm definitely getting a screen protector for this one, I think. But I haven't decided on what case yet, whether to go for the Nintendo one or like I'm assuming Hori's going to have a load of stuff out, and their stuff's usually generally pretty good.
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
I've just searched game compatibility lists and I couldn't find Lumines there at all, but maybe the free lists I got on their website are maybe just the ones with slight issues, so I guess it's in the safe list. But
Cool. All right.
Okay. Next story is that IGN and Eurogamer. Oh no, so this is Ziff Davis is suing OpenAI for content theft. So
Oh, wow.
the lawsuit was filed in Delaware, and they've said that the company intentionally and relentlessly reproduced exact copies and created derivatives of Ziff Davis work, and by doing so infringed on copyrights and diluted trademarks. So the New York Times have said have cited two sources familiar with the case, saying that they're seeking damages in the case of like at least hundreds of millions of dollars. They're looking to claw back from this. And I mean, do you want to hear what OpenAI had to say about it?
Yeah.
Is it really
Yeah, go on.
insightful and helpful?
Yeah, I mean,
Does it read like it's written by an AI?
it does actually. So the first thing they said was that using copyright material was protected because it's grounded in fair use. But then they said ChatGPT helps enhance human creativity, advance scientific discovery and medical research, and enables hundreds of millions of people to improve their daily lives.
Irrelevant.
Yeah.
Completely irrelevant.
it's
go
not
on.
the point. Point
So
is
that's-
you
yeah,
stole
that-
shit to make it work.
Yeah, they stole.
so they haven't actually
all of that
addressed
stuff.
the claims.
No, it's they've not. Although they said they addressed it by saying that their use of it was grounded in fair use, but I don't really see how that works.
Don't buy that at all. Yeah, I mean, I haven't got the energy for another like anti-AI conversation. But I don't know how even people that find it useful or think it's a good thing, I don't know how they square away the fact that the OpenAI are just like, but we need to be able to steal everything or else we don't have a business. It's like, then you don't have a business.
Yeah.
You just don't have one. Well,
It's like I mean,
simple.
I probably talked about
When you
this
say
before,
still,
but
it's using its point of reference, right, and then just regurgitating it out with different.
It's all
yeah.
training data. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really fucking shit.
Isn't that what
innit? Let's
Siri? I
face
mean,
it.
Siri does that. And like, if you ask Siri or Google
Siri
Gemini a
tends to-
question,
I think
it's taking stuff
think
from the web,
generally,
isn't it?
yes,
If it's looking
But Gem-
something up and giving you a link,
yes, that's what Siri tends to do.
Yeah.
It tends to cite its sources more
yeah,
than
yeah.
say Chat GPT and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it's, I mean, I've talked about this before probably, but like Meta have done this where they've stolen my books. Like, you know, me along with loads of people where they just downloaded like a library, you know, from like presumably dodgy sources.
Do
or
they think
whatever.
400 quid was too much then?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't
Completely.
blame them.
Yeah, I kind of, I'm on their side in a way.
But no, it's like, but it sucks because it's like they basically, they're just thieving like all of this stuff, and with no recourse, which is
It's shit, and I think all this AI stuff now. There's going to be lots of legislation, and But the problem is, the biggest problem is we always, and I don't want to get all like, hey, listen to me, guys, what a unique viewpoint. But this is all saving a lot of rich people a lot of money.
Yep.
So the idea that law's going to come down on this in a way that it should is not. It's not going to happen, is it?
I mean, the other thing that VGC mentions is that, I mean, some other companies like Future have done deals with OpenAI to license their content for use on the platform. I know they've done that. I know some of like Vox Media stuff have done that as well, like the Virgin stuff. You know, it's I don't know.
So is this going to end with Ziff Davis just getting a great deal? Is that
probably?
Is it like a Trump-esque, tariff?
Yeah,
let's do a deal.
Yeah, are they
I
just
think it probably
seeking
will end with that.
compensation, or are they trying to take OpenAI down? Like,
give us some money for it, and maybe we'll talk about it as up yours.
But yeah, I think we're going to see loads more of this because there's loads of other like authors and like banding together and stuff and saying you stole my stuff, so did this. It's kind of crap.
Remember when new tech was like fun and exciting and
iPint.
Yes.
I think we referenced that more than any other thing on.
I saw a stand-up clip 2 days ago with iPint you mentioned or used on stage.
Well, maybe we should sue them.
Yeah, they nicked our content.
Okay,
next story. So Meta have apparently laid off 100 employees across their AR and VR hardware and games division, and the cuts have impacted teams within like Meta's Oculus Studios and on mostly also from Supernatural, which was the Meta Quest Fitness sort of thing, which Meta acquired for like $400 million in 2023, and loads of stuff from that apparently been affected. And this follows on obviously from other cuts where there was like 20,000 jobs in 2022 and 2023 were also cut. And I mean, the wild thing that I still think this is wild with this is that apparently they're losing $1 billion every month, like over the last 2 years, like this, which is like. And then they've said that they're expecting.
On what? On video game development for AR and VR devices.
Presumably on the Oculus Studios or whatever it is that they're running, whatever they're doing with
And I assume just the ongoing running costs of like all the infrastructure and everything involved. It kills me that and I'm not saying it would have completely reversed their fortunes or anything, but it kills me that we'll never see what the Quest headsets could have been if Meta were just like, let's just make it a cool gaming platform and because have you seen the fucking
I would
app
assume
these
it's
days?
Not sustainable. Like it's even less sustainable than it is now if they just focused on gaming.
But I thought that's kind of the direction it's going in anyway, right? Because
I think now they've realised that their Meta universe thing, what I forever will remember that presentation, it is not really taking off in any sort of way.
Yeah, I mean, like the people that design Horizon Worlds, loads of them have been let go. Like they're clearly pivoting to AI. Horizon Worlds is still like a focal point of the app, but like the biggest growing audience is like a 10 to 14 age. Like that's why things like I Am Cat, I Am Security, those are like the biggest games on the platform. That's like like so many of the 10 to 14 age range or that demographic got Quest 2s, and that's like their first console. So there is like a really healthy future for VR with millions of these younger kids playing it, but they're basically playing VR versions of mobile free-to-play games. So it's not what we would, or core gamers would typically want, which is great games like Asgard's Wrath and Batman stuff with really impressive graphics and game mechanics we're kind of used to, whereas these other games sell like gangbusters. I mean, like I
like this. This is Matt Unleashed when it talks about VR. We've not had
to
this
defend
since...
it anymore, Matt. It's fine.
Yeah, it's.
I do wonder with this, like how much, like if they're losing like $1 billion every month, is a lot of money, and even to a company like Meta, that must be like not hurting, but it must be it's a significant amount of cash. The fact that they're kind of continuing with it, how much is this because Zuckerberg doesn't want to lose face on this? Like he renamed the fucking company after the metaverse, and it's like not happened. Like really,
I don't think it's saving face. I think it's the opposite. I think they're coming to terms with the fact that VR and AR has not taken off in the way that they wanted to, and I don't think they were expecting it to be massive at this.
In its current guise,
I think they definitely were expecting it to be massive. I mean, they put
eventually,
but
not
now, though.
this quickly. This
Like
10
to 15
knew it
years.
was a long game.
Yeah.
But
for
they
sure.
did think that this was going to be the starting point, and I can't imagine the amount of people that are in that sort of that social world of VR. I bet the numbers are quite low, lower than they were expecting at this point.
I still think we're going to get there. It's just like I mean, this division
agree.
also does all the Ray-Ban glasses, and they're clearly massively into that. You know, there's loads of rumors or news this week about Apple are desperately racing Meta to get their AR glasses out. So it's not just the AR apps or AR, VR, XR, MR apps on Quest as we know it. It's like the development into the hardware, into getting Ray-Ban glasses, light as possible, cheap as possible, big screen as possible without you really knowing. I mean, ultimately it's going to get to the point where it could be contact lenses, it could be glasses that we have now, which are so thin, so light, but they've got all the kind of things you would need. So yes, it's easy to say this,
but that's
and
what
it
I'm
is
saying.
crazy.
There needs to be this iteration. I don't think has held as much as they'd hoped, and I think there needs to be a major technological advancement in AR VR before it gets picked up by the mainstream.
Yeah.
I mean, it felt like the biggest buzz around it was when the price dropped on PSVR 1. And then I started noticing people that wouldn't even consider VR suddenly buying headsets. But that sort of went away rather quickly. It felt like a rock band style fad for a little bit. And I think there was still a core audience there, and I think there still is. I think there's still people that will still be using the VR headsets. I mean, me and my mates still use it quite regularly, but we play one game, and it's not what they see as the future, and probably not sustainable to sort of fund all this stuff. I'm not justifying them getting rid of departments, getting rid of studios and stuff. I do think they've really managed this poorly.
I think if you just look at what they've done to the app is fucking mad.
Yeah.
Like
it's yeah.
Like the fact that for everyone who doesn't have a Quest headset, which is probably most of you, so obviously the way you mostly you purchase or browse the stores, you can do it on your phone. It used to be the Oculus Quest app, now it's the Meta Horizon app. And literally when you load it up, 3/4 of the screen is all social and Horizon stuff, which is their metaverse thing. The actual shop to buy actual games on it is a tiny button in the top left. And then even when you click on that, a third of the screen is here's the most active worlds on Horizon. It's I don't give a fuck. I do not care. I just want to see what the new games are.
The fact that the store is not even in the main UI at the bottom of the app is absolutely crazy. And when they made that change, there was loads of discussions in our studio, other studios, okay, surely Meta has the numbers where fewer people must be going to the store as a result of them moving the button to get to the store, making it tiny. They must be seeing a financial impact because they obviously get 30% of every game sold or every app sold. It's they're obviously seeing a financial impact, but they must also say, hey, we can hide that away because the main thing is pushing people towards Horizon World. So maybe that is doing well enough because ultimately there's still business, they want the money. And if it's about the money and games were making the money that they need to, then they would have that in the main UI, but they don't. But it is bonkers. As someone who, primarily just does the games on there, not all the Horizon World stuff. But,
I don't know. I still reckon a lot of this is also about ego as well, with in terms of with Meta and in terms of,
I mean, so much of these businesses are with a big kind of face of the company. But they also showed that Project Orion, which is their next generation of AR glasses. They're The Verge and other places did a preview of it a few months ago, where it's this is nowhere near consumer level yet, but this is where we're going, and incredibly impressive technology, but we're years away from that. But it's clear they're doing this, and Google and Samsung, Apple, they're all racing to get their AR glasses out there in a way, and it takes a lot of money. But yeah, I mean, it just shows how big Meta is, so they can afford to drop $1 billion a month and it's still going ahead, and they're clearly making big money elsewhere. But yeah.
Okay, final news story, and it's this is a quick one. It's just that Indiana Jones has sold really well on PS5 apparently so far, or at least it's selling more quickly than it has on other platforms. But I mean, the problem with this data, obviously, is that it's kind of ignoring Game Pass and the fact that and that most people that played it, on Xbox would have played it on Game Pass and wouldn't have bought it. But apparently, it sold 117,000 copies on PS5 in its first 6 days, and this is compared to Steam, which was 91,000. So there's
UK or worldwide?
I'm not sure. That's a good question. It doesn't say here.
Does that sound like a massive amount?
No, it
it's
doesn't.
Not huge numbers, is it? But
Yeah.
I mean, it came out like mid-December. It's like everyone's very busy. You know, it's quite late in the
No,
year.
it came out
like-
recently on PS5, didn't it?
Oh yeah, no. So I mean, like the Steam numbers and Xbox
Oh,
numbers. was
Steam
like, you know,
one, yeah, of course, yeah.
And I think Xbox gamers, I mean, not all of them, you know, that's probably a generalization, but a lot of them, the ones that have Game Pass are conditioned to not buy games, and yeah, the games on Game Pass. Why would I buy it? Also, yeah, I mean, it reviewed well, so you know, I think it's not a surprise that PlayStation owners would jump up and get it. I mean, I'm fascinated to see what the numbers are like when on Forza Horizon 5, because that's out now,
that's
isn't
out
it?
tomorrow. No, it's out
Oh,
tomorrow.
is that tomorrow?
Oh, sorry,
Okay.
Tuesday. Yeah, that's out. Yeah.
Yeah, and because that's an incredible game, so I'm looking forward to seeing what that does on PlayStation.
I think it's
Yeah,
going to do
I mean-
well because it was like,
I
it was
hope it
like
does.
number one wish listed, I think, for like quite a long time.
Okay.
And, yeah, I think.
Well, it's like the version to buy now, isn't it? Because apparently it performs and
well,
looks exactly like it does on the Series X, but you also get the
other stuff.
haptic feedback and the adaptive triggers.
And like the Pro version, I think it's a Pro version.
Pro
or one of
version
them
does
has
both,
like,
yeah.
4K 60 all sorts of crazy stuff. So
Yeah.
it's a great game. So yeah.
Yeah, I
Wait.
mean, if you've got a PlayStation and you're thinking, oh, you know, I kind of like that, and you've never played a Forza Horizon game, just buy it. It's one of honestly, it's so good. It's such a good video game. Yeah, I love it.
And the other kind of good news for this as well is that apparently, I mean, Machine Games are working on DLC for Indiana Jones called The Order of the Giants, and that's going to come this year, which is good.
Nice.
Cool.
And that's it for the news.
All right. Then it's time to get to what you've been playing, and we should start with the big release this week. It's Clair Obscur Expedition 33. Sean, Matt, James, you've all been playing it.
Hello.
I'm kind of sick at this point of videos of people starting, this is game of the year, because you were saying that about another game 2 weeks ago and another game 2 weeks before that. So can we just strike that now? Because we know there's another Mario Kart and potentially Grand Theft Auto coming. Let's stop starting videos with, this is the new game of the year, guys, because there can only be one. All right? Stop it.
But in their defense, this is the highest rated game of the year so far.
yeah, there is that.
Yeah, but in their defense, there was another highest rated game of the year so far 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, but they can't
So
go back in
it's only
time.
April.
They can't go back in time.
No, they can't go back in time, but they could learn the fact that, there might be an even higher rated game 2 weeks away. Like, stop calling it now. Stop calling it now.
That's the news cycle.
Well, I think what's fascinating about this game is that it makes me want to say some very negative things about other JRPGs, right? for the purposes of this discussion, I'm calling it a JRPG. It's not made in Japan, but it is a Japanese style RPG. It's a JRPG as far as I'm concerned.
Right.
But yeah, so it makes me want to say negative things about other JRPGs, but obviously it is, it's standing on the shoulders of giants, right? It's obviously so influenced by those other games. I don't think the team are like, JRPGs are shit, so we thought we'd make a good one. However,
Yeah, but also that's a really reductive argument as well, because there have been a lot of like good JRPG style
for sure.
games that are not Final Fantasy. There's been
totally.
Right, so just to be clear, this is a JRPG style game, turn-based combat, right? Very story-driven. Is it 700 hours long or whatever those
No.
games usually are?
No, it's the opposite.
Apparently, it's about 30 hours.
Yeah, you can get the whole thing
Yeah.
done in like 35 hours, unlike, say,
and
Final
this
Fantasy,
is-
where it could be 100+ hours if you really want to
And
nail
this is
it.
kind of what the main thing about it is, holy shit, a JRPG that is respectful of the player's time. Like, the first half an hour of this game, and I'm not, I don't know, this is like an awful expectation to put on people who've not played it. People load it up and like, well, if I don't cry in 30 minutes, I'm turning it off. I'm just saying, I saw a lot of people being like, oh my God, I've only done like an hour and this is fucking incredible. And I was like, all right, calm down. But I was really blown away with how well it introduces itself, how quickly it sets the emotional stakes of what is going on, the way the world works in this game. I think it is fascinating and incredibly well done. How quickly it does the world building and how quickly it introduces the characters is incredible, especially for this genre where you can be 10 hours in and still characters are like they've got an arc to go through, and like nothing's really happened yet. You're not even sure who the final boss is going to be. This is a game where literally, like the like friend of the show Chris Spam was saying, the thing with JRPGs is like, oh, haha, you kill God at the end. This is literally like, look, there she is. You got to kill her. Like that's like the opening of the game, pretty much. So it is incredible how quickly it gets things going and how quickly it gets interesting, story wise and like gameplay wise as well. At least that's been my experience. I don't. How far are you guys?
Sean, can I shock you?
Yes.
I completely agree with you because this is the thing, right? Because I went into this and I mean. I actually found the opening to this quite moving.
Yeah,
like I really there's the scene right at the start. I thought it was so well like put together, and there was, and as you said, they introduced people like pretty snappily. You get a feel for things very quickly as well, which is great. There's not tons and tons of dialogue either, which is kind of good. There's enough to establish the characters to make you have some sense of what the stakes are, and it really works. Like it really works, and it moves on at a really good pace as well. Like you said, like you have that immediate event right at the start, and then it's like, okay, straight into it now. And it's not all that sort of like, oh, we've got to like go around and explore a town for a couple of hours and like chat with some people before we think about getting on with it. And it's like, it was, I was very impressed actually. It's
and all that with a small team, and it's their debut game. So very impressive. I'm only unfortunately like an hour in, so barely touched it, but it's very striking. Like it's again, gorgeous looking game. Even in these early stages, I'm sure it's only going to get better. But
but also we should explain like the setup for the story, because this was in trailers and stuff. So I'm not talking spoilers. It is all very weird. You do just have to kind of go with the game's sort of own logic. Basically, it appears that sort of 60 odd years ago there was some sort of cataclysm, and this bit of what is clearly Paris, although they call it Lumiere, it's really obviously Paris, is like separated from the mainland, and everything's all twisted and broken, and there's things floating around in the air and stuff. And they can see off in the distance there's this woman that they call the Paintress, and every year she reappears and she paints a big number. When it counts down by 1 every year, and when she paints the new number, everyone that age disappears. So, and we're now started at 100, we're now at 33. So you start in this society that has been living with this for 60 odd years, and people have got different thoughts on it, and some people are like, well, this is just how it works now, and that's all right. Some people, like, they try and make like this like annual event out of it, where they sort of try and act like it's not unbearably fucking sad that this is happening. And then there are also people who go on these expeditions, so every year there's an expedition. Typically the people who are probably due to go next year, right, due to be magicked away next year, because they've only got a year left, so no one really knows what's going to happen to them if they go on this expedition to try and kill the Paintress and stop this from going on. And then so obviously you play as someone. I mean, you end up with a team, obviously, because it's a JRPG, but initially you're this one guy, Gustav, and he's signed up for this year's expedition, basically. It's fucking great. I'm absolutely hooked on it.
And the combat as well is, I mean, as I've said before, turn-based combat is not my favourite method of combat in games. Like especially like with
you do like a lot of them though, Jay.
I know, but
we do have to stress this every time.
No, but the ones that I played a lot of is like the Like a Dragon ones that have come out recently, but it's always been kind
Persona.
of like Persona and Like a Dragon. They're the two that I've played.
And the Mario and Luigi games
doesn't count. They're
turn-based.
No, it doesn't count because it doesn't fit.
Okay, they do count, but they're come on, that game was dreadful. That one.
Pokemans?
Which one?
Pokemans?
I don't play those.
I mean, you did, because you played about 1 billion hours of Arceus.
I played Arceus, but that's the only one I've ever finished. All right, look, I'm inconsistent. Okay, I play turn-based RPGs, but I don't enjoy turn-based RPGs.
No, you're very consistent.
Fucking liar.
You're incredibly consistent, but you hate
but
them.
it's true.
They're all exceptions that prove the rule. It's just that there's about a dozen of them.
I know, but then also I don't. But okay, philosophically, I don't enjoy that method of combat. Is what I'm saying. It's like
I just say that I don't mind the combat. I just prefer like action-based combat. That's
Yeah.
fine.
It's true. That's
But no, it's not true. You lead into this with, I really don't like as a general.
I hate them. I
But
never
it's
play
true. I
them.
just don't. I don't enjoy it as much as I do other forms of combat. But
Okay.
this so far has been pretty enjoyable. I thought. Like it's the strategy side of it's pretty good. You got the the aiming the guns and stuff for like weak points at things, which is pretty
and
good.
like every character has their own mechanics going on.
Yeah.
So they're all behaving in completely different ways. There's all the quick time stuff. So like when enemies are attacking you, you can dodge or parry. Dodging is a bit easier. I am finding the timing quite tricky on a lot of them.
Yeah, so you have like a square that comes up for certain moves, right? And it's like a
When you're attacking,
four-sided square, and one's lit up. So am I supposed to hit it before the lit up side?
No, when it reaches that fourth side, that's when you're supposed to.
At first I was like, I did it. Is that didn't feel right? Okay, kind of makes sense.
So that's when you're attacking, you can do bonus damage by hitting A at the right time. But then when you're being attacked, you can. I mean, it's really interesting because obviously so often in JRPGs there's there are ones where you're expected to grind or whatever, whereas this is like, well, if you learn the timing, you don't need to take a single hit.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter what level your character is, and like. So initially when you're learning a new enemy, especially with a boss, right, you're likely to take a couple of attempts at them. Initially you dodge because that's easier, the timing window is a bit more generous, but then there's also parries, and then once you've got the timing down well enough to do the parries, you get like counter attacks, and then they do shitloads of damage, and they're just really cool because sometimes the enemy will attack your entire team, and if you get all the parries, like all of them fucking go for the counter, and it looks incredible.
Yeah, so that side of it makes it feel like real time in some aspects because you're
like
constantly
really
doing it,
and that's the thing. It's because it is also pretty snappy. Like each one is pretty quick. Like you go through them, and it's not a grind, which is why as I said, I started playing it, and I was like, I can see myself playing through this because this is it feels nice to play as well.
Yeah,
it's
for sure.
But I'm enjoying it. I think it's good.
I think like Matt was saying, it's like the visual design is incredible. You can see. So it was made by a relatively smaller team. I think there's been some capital D discourse around that because everyone's saying, "No, it's made by 30 people," whereas actually, when you take into account freelancers, publishers,
contractors, it's more than that.
It's more than that.
But regardless of how big the team is, it doesn't take away the fact it's a very impressive game review-wise and a debut. So
yeah, totally. And like it looks incredible. You can see where. Like some of the character animations, not that they're bad, but just the world looks so beautiful, and then but there's no escaping that there's a character on screen that's being controlled by someone with a little stick. Do you know what I mean? Like the characters can just look a bit weird moving around and stuff. But
one thing I was going to ask you about this is, I'm presuming you're both playing it on Series X, right?
Yes.
Are you getting like pop-in and stuff like that? And
a bit, yeah. Like, sometimes walking through environments, you can see like grass in the distance,
trees and stuff pop up. Yeah.
Because I just wonder, because I'm playing it on Series S, and it's like I just wonder whether maybe that was just.
Yeah, I'm playing on performance mode because there's performance or quality or whatever, and
I don't even get the choice.
It's available on PS5 though, right?
It is,
yes, I believe so. Yeah.
Okay,
but the visual design's incredible. Like not just how good it looks, but like as you move through the game. I mean, I'm sort of 10, 15 hours in, something like that. And the variation in the environments is stunning. Like literally, the second place you go to doesn't make any sense, but in a really fun way. And like the soundtrack, there's like apparently it's like 8 hours of soundtrack in this.
Really?
And from what I've heard, it's like really good and again really varied. Also, I'm enjoying the fuck out of it.
Crucially, so far, I've not found any of the characters irritating yet either,
no.
which is quite good.
The main character, and then one other that you meet, and it's sort of implied at the beginning that maybe there's a romance there. They're just fucking arguing all the time, but like in a convincing way. Like they don't hate each other, but they're just having disagreements about how things should proceed, and they're arguing convincingly in a way that only like friends would. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But also. They fucking interrupt each other. I think maybe these people were actually in the studio at the same time when they recorded their dialogue instead of them just reading it from a sheet separately. Like it's which shouldn't be, the high watermark that it is, but so few games are able to do that. It's really
shit.
convincing.
Ben in the chat has just said Charlie Cox voices the main guy. Is that true? Because if that's true, that he's one of my favourite people. So it's like
It does, yeah. He is in it.
Daredevil has been very
He's
good.
in it, but like I know it's not him. But like the main is Gustav looks so much like Robert Pattinson. I know it's not.
Yes, he does.
But it's like if I was Robert Pattinson's people, I'm like, what the fuck have you done? You have. It feels very close to his face. I mean,
I don't know Charlie Cox, but looking him up now, he looks very much like my friend CJ, doesn't he, Matt? This is like it's really weird.
me
not
possibly.
think? It looks a lot like my mate CJ. Anyway, that's for the listeners out there.
Just man with beard.
Really fucking good game.
I'm
as I
really
say,
excited to dig in more. And,
I'm only about 10 hours in, I think, and I'm really looking forward to playing more of it. It is wonderful.
Yeah,
and
cool
again,
over.
and I say this was after me seeing loads of stuff like, oh my god, game of the year. And I was like, all right, calm down. I'll play it and then I'll decide.
Yeah.
But yeah, despite all that praise, I was still like really impressed. So
Cool.
I'm glad you're playing it too, James. I know you're not gonna bother playing the Final Fantasy remakes or remake, but yeah, I'm glad you're playing this.
That's
Maybe
the
you will.
thing, because it's like if they were a reasonable length, maybe I would. But
Well, the
it's
first
like,
one I did in like 55 hours. The second
Yes,
one,
they're not that long. They're
if you
not, like,
mainline it,
they
yeah,
are padded
it's the
out.
second one which is like incredibly busy work. But
we've been getting messages from Blake who really, really wants to come back on the show, and part of the reason he really
So
wants
who?
to come back on the show, Blake Harrison.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
know.
know if Neil from the In-Betweeners. He part of the reason he really wants to come back on the show is that he has completed Final Fantasy VII Remake, and he cannot wait to talk to us because
remake or rebirth.
the first one.
Okay, cool. Okay, good.
Final Fantasy 1. Okay, so I've been playing a new game, finally. South of Midnight. I finally booted this up in the week.
yes.
I am about 2.5 to 3 hours in. And I think that is an okay game. I think it's a frustrating one, really, because South of Midnight is for those of you that don't know, it is on Game Pass. It's they made We Happy Few and another. Was it Contrast?
Yeah.
It was that
But,
PS4 launch game where you
neither
had
of
to
them
stand.
hugely well received, right?
Yeah, both of them are sort of average around 5s and 6s and stuff like that. We Happy Few had that really weird turn where they showed off the initial trailer and everyone went, "This is a Bioshock set in the UK, wow!" And it just wasn't that.
Yeah.
It's a really weird game that. Well, this is more of your straight up action game, and there is a lot to like about it, and there's a lot to dislike about it. I mean, but where do you? I mean, we played a little bit. I played a little bit in front of you guys just to show. Look, if you've got Game Pass, boot it up just to see how amazing the intro is and the art style and everything. And I think that stuff it really nails. The art style is beautiful. It's beautiful to look at in places. I've been taking photos, screenshots and all that sort of stuff. Just the general tone of it. It seems to. So the story is right. You play as a character. I'm looking up her name, Hazel, and she lives in a sort of not a mobile home, but sort of a small, very small sort of home in this small neighborhood, and a hurricane hits. And your home gets swept away in like this river or whatever, and your mum's inside it, so you're chasing after her, trying to get her back. And somehow you get swept up into this sort of weird gothic world where these horrific monsters attacking you, and you're going around piecing stories together through seeing ghosts and all this sort of stuff, and you're seeing these mythical characters, these from Southern America. It's like it's all set in the South of America. And all of that stuff happens, and none of it feels original. Like it all still feels very much that it's sort of just piecing things together from other games. But the art style, the voice acting, yeah, totally, man. I mean,
story-wise, maybe, yeah, but.
Do you remember the monster we saw together? And it was like, I've seen this character in about 1 million
Yeah,
games.
but it's just like the way it's presented. I feel like it's a really visually arresting game. Maybe I had like same, a lot of things you've seen elsewhere, but I don't know, it just felt like maybe it's the animation style, the use of color. I don't know, it just felt really nice, I think. And
I was going to ask you, David, about the animation style thing, because I was listening on another I can't remember what other podcast it was, where they were talking about like the switch between cutscenes and gameplay and how feels a bit jarring.
I do not understand. So one of the unique selling points you take from the trailer is that, hey, it looks like a stop motion game. Isn't that cool? Firstly, that's never cool in a video game because it just feels like it shouldn't be.
Well, didn't Harold Halibut do it?
No, Harold Halibut wasn't a stop motion game.
It was a bit like visually that, wasn't it?
No, it was claymation.
Claymation, yeah.
It wasn't, when you moved about, it wasn't, stuttery. It wasn't in.
And then also, As Dusk Falls, that had some element of that with like losing animation
As
frames.
Dusk Falls was very much like screen and screen and screen. I mean, we looked at it together, and I don't understand why they've even gone for it, because there are moments like where in menus or in certain things. Right, okay, so when you're playing the game, your character is running at a full, 30 frames, minimum 60. I don't know what frames per second it is, but the wildlife around you are look stop animation. And I think that kind of works. So you've got, when you're moving your camera around, that's fine. The wildlife is all, stuttery. I think it kind of works. And I'm like, I see the vision here. But when it goes to cutscenes, everything's got that stop motion look to it. But I don't know what's going on, but the consistency's not there. So there are times where it looks like the game is just actually struggling to load rather than a stylistic choice.
I wonder if it's the difference between, and I'm not an expert, I don't know how this was made, I'm guessing. Is it the difference between, something that has been hand animated at, whatever it is, 10, 15 frames a second, versus something
Just
that was
frames.
animated at full speed and then they just cut half the frames out?
Yeah,
I don't know.
It feels like that, but that's clearly what they did in the Spider-Man games for certain suits, and it's jarring enough in Spider-Man, and I don't think it looks particularly good. It's good to switch on for 5 seconds and go, oh yeah, that's cool, and then switch it off again. Yeah. But I think it's more consistent. So that in Spider-Man, I think it's more consistent, and it has less frames, so it makes more sense to look at. Whereas this, it sort of just looks like it's dropping frames at times, and it's like, and maybe it is, because when I've noticed when you go into cutscenes, there is like a half a second where it is trying to catch up, and it does stutter a little bit, and then that sort of puts you on edge for the rest of the cutscene, I think. But that's not its only problems. The other problems it's got is the gameplay itself is so basic. I've always felt that you can tell when a game is sort of really not underbaked, but of that lower tier, when you see a full animation where you shouldn't see a full animation. Do you know what I mean? Where you're sort of clipping the edge of a platform and they're doing that falling thing they've got their arms up and their legs are going for just a brief second before they latch onto something. There's tons of that in this, tons of that, and that makes you go, oh right, okay, this isn't as polished as it should be. Like, I wish this was more polished. The combat is fine. Like, I'm not against the combat. The more abilities, so you add more and more abilities, and it really chucks them at you really quickly. I'm hoping that it sustains doing that, like, as I'm playing. I'm worried that looking at the skill tree, I should have shown you the skill tree, Sean, when you were over, because it is like, I mean, it's very, very basic. There are a very finite amount of things you can upgrade, and who knows, that maybe later in the game that it adds to that, but doesn't
or it
look
might
like
be
it
for the
does.
best that it's simple, right? It's not it doesn't strike me
Yeah,
as a game
but there's
where you want
simple,
the
and then
there's
there's
you needn't have bothered, sort of.
right. And
There's a good, like, not every game needs to be massive AAA budget. Like, if they
I agree, but when they're so basic, you just kind of think, well, why is this hidden behind collectibles then? Because it doesn't feel like that's very necessary. And of course the collectibles are hilarious. They're called, I can't remember, they're called something really shit like floomps, and you've got to collect as many floomps to upgrade your skill tree. But it's literally whenever you walk off to one side that you're not supposed to go, there'll be one there. Do you know what I mean? It's not like, I need to go exploring and find every nook and cranny. It's like there's two paths. one path is clearly the way you're supposed to go. Right, I'll go to the other path and collect my flump, or whatever it is.
I hate that stuff, and I know.
Yeah, because it feels like needless, right? And
Yeah,
I
and
think
it just feels so like, well, I know I'm being told to go this way, so I'd better go the other way first. I don't know, bothers me.
yeah, and and to be fair, Split Fiction gets that wrong. At least in this game, you know exactly what the right way to go is, because not only can you look at it and say, right, I know that's the direction I'm supposed to go in because I can see further ahead, but also you've got a button, you click the right stick in, and it shows you which way to go. It's got like that trail that you used to get in Fable and stuff. And that's pretty cool. When you click that in, they say your name as it's like ushering you towards it, so it'll go Hazel as you're doing it, and I'm like, actually, that's pretty cool.
I just sorry. Do you remember what Guardians of the Galaxy did? Right now.
Oh, what? No, what did they do?
Basically, there's one bit where Rocket's like, right, we need to go this way, and you can see a side path, and obviously because we've got gamer brain, you go off the side path just to see what's there, and you just go the wrong way, and Rocket sees you from across a distance, and he's just like, what's wrong with you? I told you to go
I remember that. Yeah, that was really good.
Enjoyed that.
A little middle finger to the gamers out there. So it does that stuff, and I've seen this sort of unfairly be branded as a PS2 game. I sort of get what what people are trying to say when they say that. Like, so this is very linear. It's very combat bit. Like, I mean, literally every time you enter combat, you're walking into a little arena. You know when you're getting into a fight because there's a health patch there, and there's a bubble that you have to blow up to, get further into the game. It's literally arenas like that, and then there's a bit where it's like, oh, there's no combat around here, so this is the bit where I go and find my little collectible bits off to one side. I can go and do that. So I get what they're trying to say, but I think it is kind of reductive to call it a PS2 game because there's a lot of PS2 gameplay tropes that are not in this. But yeah, look. Not every game's going to be a banger, and if they're not a banger, it doesn't mean they're shit. South of Midnight is definitely a 6 to 7 out of 10, and I don't say that to belittle the game or say it's poor. I think if you are looking for a short action experience that looks fucking incredible, has a unique sense of place, like this is very much set in the south of America, embracing that setting. It does some things with that really make me cringe. There's some brilliant moments in the soundtrack. It does a lot of things like if you meet a character called Bob, you move on, and then there's some music going, oh, Bob sat on the chair, and I'm like, oh, I can't handle this, actually, which is a shame because I've never been able to handle this. I don't know, for those of you that are watching The Last of Us season 2 at the moment, that first episode, they showed that guitar so many times, and I was sitting there, but like biting my knuckles, saying, please, please, please don't do the if I ever was to lose you.
But it's happening.
It's going to happen, and I'm going to hide underneath a blanket. I will not be able to handle that.
It's a lovely song, David. Right.
And Joe's tapping along to it, But they kept showing the guitar, Matt, in that first episode.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, fuck off.
Threatening you with it.
Yeah.
I'll change your strings.
The thing is, anyone that listens to this show, if they do that on the TV show, they're going to be thinking of me now. That does nothing for my ego, I'll tell you that.
David, I think about you because you sung that when we did the Last of Us Part 2 spoiler cast. So when I hear that song, I just hear you sing it in your voice anyway. So
so I would say, like, if you've got Game Pass, then definitely play this because I think it's well worth. Like, that intro is stunning visually. The sound, the stuff that it does with sound, the music, the voice acting, the characters are great. I think that whole intro is absolutely beautiful. So just experience it for that. And if you're going into this thinking, all right, I'm aware that it's got a lot of flaws and I'm okay with that, then you will enjoy. There's enough here to enjoy. But it's tough at the moment because there are a lot of games coming out and a lot of Game of the Year games, apparently.
It's a shame, isn't it? Because on the one hand, obviously it's brilliant that so many, 9 out of 10s are coming out, but also it means that stuff like this that are interesting and have some, some really interesting things going on, but maybe just don't quite hit that mark, are just going to get buried. Like,
Oh god, yeah.
Yeah, but in like if we if we look at this through a lens of a Netflix style thing, not everyone wants to watch the critically acclaimed like adolescence or hard hitting thing on Netflix, but they think, I'm just going to put something on. I don't have to think too much. I can just enjoy it. And this feels exactly like what you would expect on a Game Pass. I mean, not these all in the same bracket, but we've had like Avowed, we've had this, we've had like loads of different really great games, but for different types of people. So. Yeah,
sure, but if this
some
come
people
out in
like,
January, February, I think this would have been a little bit picked up
they've
a
got to
little
look
bit
in,
more.
whereas now...
I don't think it would
time-wise
have
hasn't worked out.
Yeah, I don't think it would have reviewed any better. However, I do think that it's like one of those games, like as I said, of the level of like Concrete Genie or Forspoken or something.
Kenna
like
Bridge of
that.
Spirits.
The stuff that needs to
Yeah,
come
yeah.
out during a sort of a lull period, isn't it? But,
Yeah, that you could go, actually, I can just sit back and play through this and it's enjoyable enough, you know what I mean? So, yeah, shame it's not going to be anywhere near my Game of the Year list, but I think I'm going to crack on with it. I think I'm going to go, because Clair Obscur Expedition 33, it's not for me, is it?
I don't know, man.
Oh, you keep saying that, but
I'm just... no, I'm just...
I don't think it's
if
for
you
you,
were
David.
ever going to enjoy one of these,
right.
this would be the one. I'm not saying you definitely will. It's the best shot you will ever have at enjoying a JRPG, I think.
I will give that a go this week, and if I don't like it in the first couple of hours, I will return to South at Midnight.
That
I
is
think that's
absolutely
going to
fine.
be because I've got Expedition 33 installed already. It's ready to go. So, and is there anything out this week?
Probably, and I've just forgotten. It feels like there's stuff every week at the moment.
Yeah, I know,
just
it's
relentless.
crazy, isn't it? And we've still got fucking Mario to come. It's nuts.
I mean, there's like Doom's in May, Tony
Doom's
Hawk's
a
is in
couple of
May.
weeks. Yeah.
Can't think what else I
no,
downloaded
Tony
recently.
Hawk's June, I think.
Oh, was it
I think
June?
Tony
Okay.
Hawk's, yeah, after that. I mean, I cannot wait for that. I am so excited for some more Tony Hawk. Yeah.
And it's all on Game Pass now as well, so it's very good.
Mm-hmm. The other game I've got should we do a quick Blueprints update?
Yeah.
I think it's just... Oh, no, Matt, you still playing?
No, I'm still playing it. I mean, I need to stop playing it. And I think, Claire will be enough to stop me, but
Whatever her name is.
yeah, I just want to keep playing it forever because I was around obviously Dave's this weekend and seeing him like play. I was like, hang on, I haven't seen this room before. There's loads of rooms I haven't seen before, loads of things, loads of mechanics, and then I'm hearing other people like, I've got to room 46, and I've done this, I've done that, and then every time I hear anyone playing it or enjoying it or unlocking something, I just want to do one more run because there's just so much to see and do. So I'm still playing
got
bits, but
to
trying to
room
stop.
46. I've done room 46 twice.
Nice one.
I'm done. I don't want to play the game anymore.
Oh, you weren't done this earlier today.
I wasn't, but then, when I think I just got frustrated with. Look, I think if there's one criticism that could be given towards this game, it's, hey, here's a really complicated, not even a complicated puzzle, but here's a puzzle that will take you a long time to solve because of things. You solve it, and all you get is a hint at another puzzle. There's only so many, presents inside of a present that I can take before I get bored. And I think Blueprints that's the biggest, the payoff. You said it yourself.
For me, it's enough of a carrot on a stick. So I'm like, oh, for me,
but
it's
you
enough.
know that you're never going to sit to eat that carrot because it's so deep that you kind of go, I'm never going to be satisfied. And I think actually making that last room is a good cutting off point for someone that doesn't want to get to the point where they're spending 160 hours trying to decipher some sort of secret language. Like, I think that is, because honestly, Matt, I saw a bunch of other things. I played it again today after he left. Saw a bunch of other things that just went, I can see a string here that even though I'm looking for these 8 keys, there is something that I need to do after those 8 keys thing. And
cool.
I'm like, no, not cool,
Not
because
cool.
I'm never
Not
going to
cool.
do it. I'm never going to do it.
Yeah,
Like,
this could be a forever game for me. But yeah, I saw a post on Blue Sky. I'm not sure who wrote this. I'm sorry, but like they were saying, I think it's like a link to a review or like a a real big piece about the game. And we've heard about you can get to room 46 in like 17, 20 hours, depending on how you play it. We've heard about Jason's Shrine is 125 hours, but since then, this piece is like someone's played 175 hours, and there's still more mysteries that haven't kind of haven't solved. And so at some point it's kind of like, well, if we're never going to get all the answers, there's got to be a point where, okay, you are satisfied. I mean, I still am. I me and my mate Joe went down the train to Wembley on Saturday, and we spent the entire journey, and then later on that day talking about blueprints. It was like, we thought, okay, we'll have a little bit. How far you got? Okay, I'm like, but have you done that? Have you seen that? And then we met one of his mates.
All that stuff's great. Like
that,
the fact
but it just makes me want to see him play and do more. One more run.
You've seen rooms that I haven't seen. I've seen rooms that you haven't seen. I like all that. I'm not getting the satisfaction from solving any of the puzzles anymore. Like, it doesn't feel like it's pushing me forward anymore. So I'm done. But like, I can't get rid of it because the boys are playing it every day at the moment.
Yeah.
So they're playing on my save file, but they're just constantly playing it, and I kind of love watching them trying to. Because they don't know what they're doing. I said it was like, I've told the story on the show before. It was like when I walked in on them playing chess, and they both looked intensely into the game, and Charlie picked up the pawn and moved it back one space. And and I was just like, oh, they don't know what they're doing, but they're sort of making their own fun in this really complicated game. That's exactly what's happening in Blueprints. I think, honestly, Animal World does the layering thing better. Because I think once you get to the end of a layer, you feel like you're satisfied and you can stop. But then you go, ooh, maybe I can do another layer of this game. Whereas here, I think it's less of a layered game, and it's a big like mashed potato, plate of mashed potato, and you'll pick up one spoonful and go,
mash,
okay.
but you can clearly see there's another.
There's things inside
Yeah,
it. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah,
Is this bit a leak? Oh, okay. Is it a leak or is it not a leak?
Yeah, that's where I feel I'm done with Blueprints. I mean, I fucking loved it, and I've spent 25 hours in it, so it's not like I'm sitting here slagging it off at all. I just think the right thing to do for me personally was probably stop once I got to that room.
And that's why I think that whole entertainment room 46 thing is perfect, because people like you, other people are like, I did that, I finished the game, I'm done. Other people who like can't stop thinking or playing about it, or playing, thinking about it or playing it. I'm like, well, there are other layers to it. I mean, I think I could be playing this to Christmas and beyond.
Yeah, but you
we'll
won't,
see.
You'll get to the point where you can't work any of this shit out yourself.
And possibly, But right now, I'm still enjoying the mystery and the carrot on a stick. And I can see why some people say, a run might be boring because it's first for you to get rid of the rubbish rooms and you've seen them all before, etc., etc. But that is still, I don't know, the loop is still compelling to me. I'm sure at one point it will go. But for now, I'm still enjoying it. But I'm trying to play it less because I've got other games I need to play. But
also, I got the trophy for completing all of the dart puzzles. So that's it. I'm happy now. You sat next to me while I was doing it. I was proud that you got to
it said like 40
progress.
times. So it could be after 40, you reckon loops or?
They're way easier now, I'll tell you that.
Okay.
Yeah, I did one the other day, and it was.
Yes, I don't think it's all of them. I think it's just like you hit a certain.
No, of course it's not. It's not all of them,
when,
but it's like 40 times, and I'm looping it round now, and it's and they're way
I
easier.
think I played for like 47 cows, 42, 44, whatever it is, on day I think 29. And when I saw you play a dart puzzle, I'm like, what does that mean? What does that mean? Like there was like 4 or 5 things. I haven't seen that on mine. I haven't seen that on mine because you've clearly done way more of them than I have. But yeah.
Yeah, I love them. Yeah, and then Charlie got the trophy for the parlor games. I must have done enough. I must have done like 39 or whatever, and he guessed one right because he didn't know what he was doing. So he just guessed one randomly, got it, and then got the trophy and was like, "Dad, I
finished it."
I got a photo of him next to the telly. Like he looked so proud of himself. He was loving it. Okay, it was like, do you remember oh my God, I need to dig that out again. I've got a photo of Harry after he won the World Cup with England in a FIFA game, and he was crying with happiness next to the England holding up the World Cup. It was so fucking funny. So yeah, that's it for Blueprints for me. One more game.
So Sean, are you done with Blueprints, Sean? Or
I'm not done. I'll happily go back when they stop releasing games of the year.
Okay. So you're kind of in between me and Dave. Dave's like, no, I'm done now. I'm like, I don't want to stop.
I'm happy to have a break from it, but I'll probably. But then I think what will be the killer is if someone I like releases a 3-hour video where they're like, here's the entire story. And I'm like, oh, maybe
and someone will, yeah.
Maybe
Well, this is like a 12-hour action busting video or something.
I will say, Sean, me and Matt sitting next to each other playing it. It's way more entertaining than I thought it would
It's
be.
a great co-op
Really?
game.
Yeah, it is
Either
a
if you're
good
together in the
co-op
same
game.
room or just talking to your mate about what you've seen, what you've not seen. Like I said,
we
like
were
me and
trying to
Joe
work out things
talked
on
about the
the fly,
entire way
weren't we?
down to London. It's just a great discussion game.
We did this whole puzzle. We got to the end. There was a gate with a fucking lock on it, and we were like, "Oh, for fuck's sake!" And then we sat down and went, "Hold on, what if this and what if that?" And between
Yeah.
the two of us, we worked out the code
Yeah, we
for that.
we
And I was like,
we did it. Yeah, that was great.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty fucking cool.
Nice.
Sorry, there was another new game on here that I didn't notice at the end of yours, Sean.
Oh yeah.
Well, I say new game. We're talking Oblivion.
Yeah, so this was the worst kept secret in video games this week. Yeah, so the
What was? How do you mean? Everyone knew this was coming.
well, it was leaked the week before.
Yeah,
Yeah,
massively.
they've been
Was it
going.
really?
People have been going on about this for months. It feels
Yeah,
like
people-
that it was
but I
imminent.
was never
it's
sure if it
imminent,
was-
You know,
Was it one of those things that people were going on about just because it seemed like a good idea and they wanted it to happen? But yeah, no, it was happening. And then last week there was like load of leaked screenshots and stuff. So yeah, the remaster of the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion was shadow dropped. It's a kind of a fascinating one because honestly, I spent an evening on it. I'm probably not gonna go back, but I do really respect the direction they took with this. 'Cause, I was saying last week, like, I don't know what I want from an Oblivion remaster. Like, do I want it fully modernized? Do I just want it to look better but play the same? And they've been really shrewd with what they've changed and what they haven't. Mostly they haven't changed stuff. Like visually, it looks way better and looks really nice. And gameplay wise, like the actual game logic is more or less untouched. The combat feels a bit better. It's still not great. You still kind of just run around just put it on the easiest difficulty and just run around slashing things because that's kind of all it is. Like the menus are like a little bit tidier and obviously they up-resed and stuff, but it's pretty much the same game. And I think that's probably the correct decision because Oblivion, like obviously at the time we were all blown away with it, but over time it's sort of become kind of this running gag about the wonky dialogue, the sort of emergent conversations that would happen between NPCs and stuff that again at the time were impressive but are now quite laughable. It would seem, I don't know, it would seem weird to like take that stuff out or fix it or fully modernize it. So that stuff is still in. So it looks amazing, but people are still running around having these weird conversations that don't really make any sense, and and it's just that's part of the charm now, So yeah, as I say, I spent an evening on it and had a perfectly good time, but there's just too much actual new stuff to play. So as I say, I've shelved it because it's about like 160 gig or something on the It probably wasn't that much, but too much, and I had to delete stuff. So it was one of the first things to go. So, but yeah, go on, sorry.
Absolutely love to write like a proper in-depth article about your relationship with Bethesda because it is fascinating. Like it's fascinating.
Go on.
Well, that's just like every time Fallout comes up, the spite in your face is unbelievable.
Because I was a fan of Fallout pre-Bethesda,
right?
and I don't think
Before they went mainstream.
Yeah. It's that thing I was talking about, when you get a series that they sand the edges off it over time, and to some people that ruins it and some people that improves it, and Fallout's one of those ones where I think it ruins it. But I would say that I would never go back and play Fallout 1 and 2 now because they've aged really badly at this point.
What about 4?
I've never played Fallout 4.
Oh well, stop moaning about them then, mate. I mean, it wasn't a good one.
Yeah.
it was all right. It was all right.
It was okay. Yeah.
So Oblivion Remaster. It did make me think like I probably should revisit Skyrim.
I thought you were going to say Starfield then.
Because I was kind of like, probably, because I've always said I preferred Oblivion to Skyrim, whereas now I'm like, no, Skyrim was broadly an improvement in most ways. So no, I'm not entirely sure what my problem was with Skyrim. But I mean, I say problem. I spent about 80 hours on Skyrim and then just went like, oh my god, why am I still playing this? And then abruptly stopped. So yeah, Oblivion Remaster, good.
So they just announced this and brought this out.
Yep. pretty much.
Okay. Weird.
Like the soundtrack's still beautiful, although I think the guy who wrote it turned out to be a creep.
It's a shame because it's a very good soundtrack.
It is a really good soundtrack, and obviously I've got a lot of nostalgia for it. As I said, it was a game that came out when I was at university and had all the free time I wanted and could just sink into it. So yeah, a lot of fun memories. It's fascinating, like because they've upgraded the visuals, but how that makes the world look really empty because it's still as sparsely populated as it always was. But when you're looking at it through Xbox 360 graphics, that looks about right. Whereas now when it looks a lot better, you hardly ever see any other characters while you're roaming around in the wilderness. It's like, there's not really a lot going on here. But
yeah, I mean, all the stuff I heard about, they've redid loads of stuff, they've changed mechanics, they've rebuilt the entire game, all the assets, animation, sounds like, well, this feels pretty close to a remake, but it's still, and it may still have the original DNA, but I wonder, what else would they have had to do to make it a remake and not a remaster? It feels like a lot of games try to get away with calling something a remake when it's basically remaster. This feels like it's almost the other way. Like, it feels like
just because of the fantasy games.
I was about to say, is Matt sort of talking about this because he wanted this in his fantasy critic thing?
It's in it. So
I think I can still remove it if.
Wait, it's in it. I thought it was out.
Okay. So to explain to everyone,
yes,
this fantasy critic thing we're doing between the four of us. There's also.
You could try and explain it to everyone. No one fucking understands it.
I still haven't logged in again. Like since my original picks.
You haven't added any games to you.
I know, I need to do that. I'll do that.
Right, just focusing on the remakes and remasters thing specifically. Basically, the rules, by default, the rules are remasters are not allowed, but remakes are. And we had some controversy over this because Dave wanted to put, was it the Donkey Kong
Donkey Kong Country Returns,
in his list. And that was deemed a remaster rather than a remake and therefore not allowed. However, apparently after some discussions on the Discord, not our Discord, the Fantasy Critic one, they've decided that New Oblivion is a remake, not a remaster, even though it is called a remaster. So Matt's got it on his list, and currently it is there and it's allowed. But I don't know if we as a group...
they've had a debate, so why do we need to have a debate? I think we'll just leave it at that.
Because I don't get why you're allowed that and I'm not allowed Donkey Kong.
Yeah, I would say
don't take up with their team, not me. Right.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not going to be an interesting discussion for this podcast, so we should probably move on.
I think it could be an hour-long debate.
Exactly, that's why we shouldn't do it.
Boo.
One more game on the list to talk about this week. James, you've joined Sean in Promise Mascot Agency.
I have. I finished it as well.
Holy shit!
Wow.
Oh, well done.
Yeah, it's not a long game. No, it's quite
just 70 hours.
No, it's about 80. No, it's it's only about. I think I played it for about maybe 10 hours or so like that, 10 or 15 hours.
Right, okay.
Like between that, it's and it's. I absolutely loved it. You were right, Sean. It's
good. I'm really glad.
It's incredibly good, and it's basically it's a management sim, fetch quest kind of game. That's basically all it is. But I was in the right kind of frame of mood for it. When I frame of mind.
Frame of mood. There you go. Write it down.
Too late. Write it down.
Yeah. Frame of mood. You twat.
But no, it's like it's funny because it's not like Paradise Killer in the sense that it's like the island that you're sort of exploring. It's quite interesting to sort of to just drive around. I just enjoyed driving around, picking things up, smashing signs and stuff like that. It reminded me a little bit of like Grand Theft Auto 3 in that sense of just like free roaming around. Not like causing mayhem or anything at all, but just like smashing into stuff and things like that. And I just found that kind of enjoyable. But then also, the stories in it, with the mascots, where they get you recruit more mascots as you go on, and the stories get more and more sort of ridiculous and bizarre. And then you have to help them when bad things happen, and that it's genuinely funny. I think in places
really
where you've got like a mascot that's been sent to an event. And they're it's like a massive tofu, and then it's like, and then it's like, oh no, there's a problem, and it's like it's got stuck in a door or something like that, and it's like, okay, you got to like save them
It's
by
the fact that it comes up with like tofu versus normal sized doorway. Or whatever.
Or it's like there's a crack on the path that's made them potentially fall over, and it's just pathetic. Like it's just like kind of ridiculous. But the core story is also, I think, quite interesting, and it's very well put together. And I mean, I did have one point. I don't know if you had this, Sean, where I was starting to get a bit stressed because you have to like send the money back.
Yes.
And to like keep the to
stop the other Yakuza families from taking out your matriarch, basically.
Yeah. And it's like, so you're having to send money back like pretty regularly. And I got to a point where I was like, I'm just barely keeping this going. Yeah. And also, I'm constantly getting calls saying, you need to send some money back. Mm-hmm. You need to send some money back. And I was like, I don't know if I'm liking this. This is kind of horrible. But then it becomes pretty apparent you just have to like upgrade a few things and then you start swimming in cash, and it's like it's not a problem. Like I got over that really quickly, and then it's and I think everything about this is like really, really light touch. Like it's really sort of like you can engage with stuff as much as or as little as you want to. You can, if you want, you can go and explore the entire map, pick up all the upgrades, do all like smash all the signs and like pick up all the trash and all that. But you don't have to. It's up to you. And I just enjoyed doing that. Especially when I got more and more upgrades for the vehicle, because you can fly like by one point. You can like it has like a glider, and I just found the whole thing really relaxing and just a really enjoyable experience. To just sort of like cruise around the islands, pick stuff up, and that was it. Really, it's just and also
with the story as well. I really like the fact that it becomes a tale about. It's like, yes, there's this town and it's a shithole, and we've all been to shit towns and gone, oh my god, this is a shithole, get me out of here. But it's like, no, there are reasons that happens.
Yeah.
And usually it's because there was like one big employer and things fell through for one reason or another. And, and certainly in this case, like there were funds made available to try and regenerate it, but those funds have not been released in the way they should have been.
Yeah.
And, and and it's about turning the town's fortunes around, and it's not just it's a shithole and that's that. Like these things can be fixed,
And despite the the Yakuza kind of like background to the whole thing, it's not about violence really. This game at all, which I thought was I mean it is in the sense that like all the dialogue and all the the things they're saying that are going to happen, but as a character you're not doing that, and you're cleaning up basically, which is
because he mentions, doesn't he, the reason he's known as the janitor is because he said like during the earthquakes he just got to cleaning up and then just felt like he's there's always something to clean up basically, so he always keeps the broom with him. He's a great character.
But I mean, I as I said, a perfect length as well. It just it got to the point. I mean, I did, even after I'd seen the credits, I still went back and still did more stuff. Like I finished up all the side quests I wanted to do and stuff like that. And I just had a really good time with it. I would probably this is probably going to go on my Game of the Year list, because it's not Game of the Year in the sense of it's
Don't
not
tell
like
David
some
that.
Every fucking
Don't tell
game
David
comes
that.
out. Holy shit!
Exactly. It's not like this isn't Blueprints. This isn't like whatever people are high on at the moment. But it's really good and it's really solid and it's a really good time. I enjoyed it a lot. It was exactly what I needed at the moment, actually. And when I played it, and that's why I loved it. So thank you for the recommendation, because
no worries. No, I'm really glad you enjoyed it.
It's very good.
Sucking up to Sean for? Where's this come from?
Are you doing deals already?
Sometimes
They're
we
doing
get
deals
on,
there
right?
already. It's not even May, and deals are being done.
I just want to take time out to thank Sean.
Just
for the
credit where it's
recommendation.
true,
I'm
I
pretty
had a good
great.
time with it.
Love you, Sean. Please vote for my game. Because there's a pirate Yakuza game.
It's Game of the Year. It's Game of the Year.
That is not going on my Game of the Year list. Yeah.
Let's get to questions. Sean Bell.
If you want to send us a question, go to tcgs.co/Dear TCGS using DuckDuckGo. It's a web browser. I got a thing on my phone recently. It's like, what search engine do you want to use? And I was like, I don't know. Because I don't want to use Google anymore, but I don't know if the others are all shit.
Do any of you use Edge?
No,
No.
I have to use it for work.
Oh
I
my
do,
god,
'cause I have to use it for
It's
work.
not good.
it really constantly asks, like, it's just Bing. No, it's fine. And then I type something into Google and it'll go bingo, Bing. No,
you do like
no,
whenever it
Bing.
updates as well. It's always just like, but what about Bing? You know, you could,
every so often the PC would be like, let's finish setting up your PC. I'm like,
Yes,
been
I
using
did
it
that.
for
Yeah.
years. I'm pretty sure. Oh, you want to try and get me to use Edge again? Okay.
Bing. It's like when it goes, you type in maps, and you know what I mean. I don't mean Bing Maps. I don't mean Bing Maps.
Yeah. Fungo Bongoloid says, good morning. Following on from your movies that are just video game cutscenes discussion, have you seen Grand Theft Hamlet? An actor and his mates attempt to recreate a performance of Hamlet entirely within GTA Online during the COVID lockdowns.
Yes.
I think you'd enjoy it. Yeah, this has actually been really well reviewed, hasn't it?
Yeah, it gets advertised to me loads as well on Instagram.
Was this this was a while back though? Was it?
Well,
I think it's been
during
around for a little
lockdowns.
bit.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Sorry.
Yeah, 2021. Yeah,
Okay.
I remember this coming out. I've not watched it. No.
Didn't it
But
get
I
like an
had a
actual
lot-
cinema release this year? Or
Did it
something? Is that-
really?
Yeah, it was like a
so,
movie thing, I think.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
I was just looking at the Guardian's 5-star review of it.
Well, there you go. Who wrote it? Was it Peter Bradshaw?
Who wrote the it was,
Shakespeare.
yeah.
Shakespeare.
Yeah.
That's who wrote it.
That's
No, I
Very
just
good.
really like Peter Bradshaw as a critic.
yeah, it was Peter Bradshaw.
Oh,
yeah,
cool.
yeah. I hope he reviews Jafaken, which is a film that I can't wait to watch.
God.
What is that?
Dave showed me that trailer last night and I'm still convinced it's not real.
Peter Andre's new thing.
Is that
I
a
said
thing?
to
Holy shit.
Yeah, Jafaken. Everyone Google it using Bing or Edge and watch a Jafaken trailer and tell me it can't exist. It can't be real.
Ian completely done me, actually, Matt. Because I texted him, I said, we're going to the cinema to watch this. And he went, yeah, that's awful. That's awful. And I went, yeah, but I'm really impressed by Peter Andre's accent, actually. And he went, it's dubbed. And I went, what? It's clearly dubbed. I was like, oh. Fuck. It fucking is as well.
You know what? I don't think I'm going to bother going now.
Never mind. Do you know what is? Sorry, this is a tangent now. What is winding me up? I keep seeing trailers for Friendship.
Oh, yeah.
With Tim Robinson, Paul Rudd.
Yeah,
Really
when
want to
is
see
that
it.
out?
But
This
this
month.
is it. I don't even
It's
know
May,
if it's
isn't it?
coming out in the UK.
We were asking about it this morning, weren't we, Matt? We
Yeah,
were going,
Yeah, I think it's May, isn't it?
Well, in America, yeah, but there's no word about a UK release, and I hate that
Oh, is it
films
not?
are still at this point where we're like guys,
But it's got Rudd in it. That's what.
It has got Rudd in it.
Yeah, it will be theatrically released in the States by A24 on May 9th before opening wide on May 23rd.
Whatever
But
that
that's just US.
fucking
God damn it.
annoying. Anyway, yeah, no, I would like to watch Grand Theft Hamlet, but I don't know the original. I don't know the original story well enough.
I'm assuming you don't need to know. Should we do? Can we do a watch along of it? Is it like on the
Talk
YouTube
server?
or something?
Probably copyright
Probably naughty, is it?
infringement.
Shame. Oh, yeah, we'll get a cease and desist for
Yeah,
Shakespeare
by
himself.
William.
If only we like three of us were in the same place and we all could have watched it together. That would have been good.
Willie O'Shakers.
William Shakes.
Kurt Lewin. Hi chaps, excluding reviews, have you ever regretted seeing a game through to completion, like you were waiting for it to come good but it never happened and you felt like you'd wasted your time? For me, in
This is a
hindsight,
James Farley answer.
for me, in
Every game he
hindsight,
plays.
I kind of regret seeing Paper Mario Origami King through to the end, as even though I can see why people like it, I didn't personally get much enjoyment from it.
Life is strange. Double exposure.
Oh yeah, that wasn't good, was it?
Yeah.
That was a hate play.
Yeah,
Wait.
by the end, yeah, Jesus.
It's just hit me. Matt, you've not played episode 2 of Bloom and Rage.
I don't want to. I told you I don't want to.
Oh right, I thought, but
respect
you were
that.
more positive than anyone on it.
We had this exact same conversation last week. Yeah.
Did we?
In comparison to James, I was, but there was still no story. And even though I like the girls, I like the relationships, I have zero interest in playing second tape.
Okay, I didn't know that. I thought you were going to play it.
Nah.
Not to completion, but I definitely spent more time with the launch version of No Man's Sky than I should have. Waiting for that to pick up because that was just what I wanted was just not in the game at that time.
Can
it's
we call
funny
this
'cause the
episode to
closest thing-
completion?
To closest, yes, it can. The closest thing that I came to that was for me was Cyberpunk,
Oh,
I was so adamant that when that game launched and I got an hour in, I was like, nope, don't want to play this till it's done. And then I did play it, didn't I? I can't think of a game that I've regretted finishing, really. Double Exposure, we did it for the show, so it's kind of not included.
See, that's the thing.
I mean,
I don't massively regret like a lot of the games I've finished that I've not
Arceus?
particularly enjoyed. No,
Can
I'm
we
just thinking.
if James ever loses a bet, can he get no regrets tattooed on him?
That's spelled regrets.
Yeah. Regrets. Yeah.
Yeah,
I want a Mario and Luigi brothership tattoo with no regrets written underneath it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Done. I know a great
there's plenty
tattooist
of
actually now. Well, no, because I mean, but James, like I loved Arceus. You liked Arceus until you then insisted on getting every single Pokemon's.
Yeah, that was
Pokemons.
that was
and that ruined it for you. It's like if you just stopped like a normal person, you would have enjoyed that game, and I've got quite good memories of that. But
Yeah, you're
James is
probably
like this
right.
on everything. You've played tons of games.
I just stop, whereas James has to finish
Name
it.
one, David.
James has to
Name
finish.
one.
Bloom and Rage, episode 2.
Yeah, that's true.
But I can name tons of them, James. There's been so many games that no, I've got to do it, and then by the end of it, you're like, I cannot believe I'm still fucking playing it.
The Mario one definitely.
It was
Yeah,
Mario and
was
Luigi
it?
Brothership was the most recent
Wasn't there an
one.
Ace
but-
Attorney that was pissing you off and you just
Yeah,
persevered
you see,
anyway?
I don't like
It's
the
every game we mention.
see, I don't like the great Ace Attorney games, like the ones that are set in Japan. I
Yeah,
don't.
But you still
finished all of them.
insisted on.
I still finished
finishing.
all
What
of them.
was
Yeah.
that game where the ending was so hard that it pissed you off? Well, I know Mario Wonder, the last level of that nearly destroyed you.
Yeah,
Was it Wonder?
that.
My 7-year-old son did that.
No, he
No,
didn't.
no, the
No,
last.
not the other
Oh,
one.
the last.
Like
Oh, yeah.
The real one.
Yeah.
The real thing.
Yeah,
I know
that
wound you up.
that angered me actually. Yeah, because the reason that angered me was because normally with those final challenges in Mario games, they're really really hard, but they're usually kind of fair.
Achievable,
Whereas this one was completely felt like just luck almost. It was irritating.
That game was not as good as it promised to be.
No,
or
it
not
was
not
not.
promised to be. They all promised to be good. no game comes out and goes, listen, guys, this isn't the best we've done.
I promise
but
you're going to have
like-
a shit time.
Yeah, but the hype towards that game and the way it looked and the stuff that it was doing, it was like I was so excited. And when it come out, I think it was overrated slightly.
Mario Wonder.
Yeah,
Yes, we've had that, and then was that 2 years ago? Last year,
I think so.
and
2
then
years
we've
ago.
had 2 years, and then we've had obviously the most recent Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. Also, for me, didn't really.
Yeah, but again, this is all
So it's
end
mad.
of
It's like these
Switch.
two big.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
end of Switch. Like this is standard for Nintendo. End
Okay,
of Switch
right.
life. Do something different. Slap a known IP on it, and give it to a B-rated team, which is really awful to say, but like that's what happens every
twat.
fucking time. But I mean, do you remember the Princess Peach game that came out? Princess
Oh
Peach.
yeah, it's
deserves
such a waste
fucking good
opportunity.
game.
They screwed her. Yeah. Oh,
All right.
Tom cupboard of slushy syrups for the slushy machine. Do
you want to try that again?
Tom cupboard of slushy syrups for the slushy machine.
I always said covered, and I was like,
Tom
is
cupboard of
this a
slushy syrups for
splashing
the slushy
thing?
machine. Tom cupboard of slushy syrups for the slushy. There we go. I've got it. Dear
I
TCGS, I'm
swear
very
every time
sorry.
it said like "cum covered." I don't know.
That's the episode. So,
Come cupboard slushy
cupboard.
syrups for the slushy machine.
come covered to
Says
completion.
TCGS. I'm very sorry in advance for the long message, but I need your help. What is going on with Blueprints? It's exactly my kind of thing. I played it for ages, getting to room 46 several times and doing a lot of the post-game stuff, and I really enjoyed it, or so I thought. But the more distance I get from it, the more fucked off I am with it.
Hang on,
Last
now, is
week-
this Dave? Though, again, is this you?
David.
Yeah.
It's not me. No, I will always admit it. It's not me.
Last week, Dave mentioned one thing that bugged me, namely how often I would work out the solution to something and would feel really chuffed with both myself and the game, only to go somewhere else and find a memo from Jonty to Horace or whatever, setting out the solution in idiot pandering detail. But why
Yeah.
does that annoy me? I solve the puzzle without Jonty's help. I don't get annoyed when a newspaper publishes the answers to a crossword. The other thing that really stands out is the thing with the paintings. How is it possible to have such a fantastic idea for a puzzle, one that slowly reveals itself to the player first as a puzzle and then as a solution, and then for the outcome to be so monumentally shit?
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Yeah,
you're
I'm
absolutely
inclined to
right.
agree. It's so bad that reflecting on it has made me doubt pretty much every other design decision in the game. Am I just annoyed about feeling condescended to by a game that I suspect is actually not nearly as clever as it thinks it is? Please help me to understand why I hate this game that I quite like.
Oh no, I think
we
you're
think it's
fair.
clever
I
than
think
it is. I don't
as
think
clever. It's definitely as clever as it thinks it is.
Yeah, these are good accessibility things for people who, want to
safety
eventually
nets.
finish and play the game. And great, there's a solution elsewhere. It's like, you did it yourself, brilliant. You didn't need that, but this is for everyone else. Like, and
No,
sorry.
that's not the point that he's making there. What he's saying is that it's not. Oh right. Oh, so the condescending aspects of it. Yeah, I don't think it is condescending. If there's loads of puzzles that I found out way before reading a note that explains it, but then there's been a few puzzles that's been bugging me, and then I read the note and it helps me, right? So that side of it, I don't get. I don't have a problem with. When the thing that like I said to you today, Matt, is that a lot of these puzzles are really easy to just figure out. Actually, like it's not anywhere near.
Yeah, it's not as complex as you think it is.
No, no individual puzzle in this is like would stand on its own in like a straightforward puzzle game. I don't think.
So no, so at the level that I'm at now,
it
is to get into that, right? And that's fine. I don't think that shouldn't be in the game.
And I'm not saying that as a criticism. I think the way it weaves it all together is what makes it interesting. And I think that's fine. But as you say, I think the bits where it spoon feeds you the answer to something, they're just there as safety nets, and I think that's
safety nets, and that's fine. But I think
because certainly there is. When I figured out the pictures thing, I'm sorry, listeners, to go on about it because I've been told off for kind of spoiling it. Once I'd figured it out, I've then gone back to rooms I was in before. I'm like, oh fuck! It basically gave me the key to this.
Yeah,
and I just didn't see it because I just wasn't. I don't know, just wasn't engaging with it at the time. So I think the way it hides stuff in plain sight is really interesting.
Yeah, I love that. Like the more you see, the more you play, the more you see, and suddenly you're looking through the matrix, and you're like, everything in here is relevant in a certain way, and that's what's so clever about it. Because at first you go into rooms like it's just loads of random junk. Skip forward 40 hours later, you're like, no, these are all puzzle solutions or parts of a puzzle about something else, and I think it's well done.
But what's not well done, in my opinion, is that you, as I said, they're not clear layers. So you cannot decide when to cut off. Like, so when you play Animal Well, it gets to the point where you're like, fucking hell, I really need to know my shit now. I can't do this on my own. I now need to go onto the internet to look things up and try and piece things together that way. I don't want to do that. That's my line. But anything before that feels like I've achieved something. So you get that satisfaction. Whereas in this, because everything's meshed together in a weird way, and that puzzle can lead to something really deep into the game, and that puzzle won't. It's like when you first start the game, you could do like work some puzzle out, and it goes, this is the door to Gleeble. Get to Gleeble and find out what that is. And you're like, I don't even know what you're fucking talking about. So that satisfaction of going, oh, I've worked out this fucking puzzle is just not there. Like it's just not there at that point.
Yeah, even if you get to room 46 and go, right, cool, that's it for me, you will have unanswered threads because you can't just set your line and go, this is as far as I'm willing to go, because you will have already crossed it in multiple different ways without realizing. And that's why so there'll always be that itch of like,
and when it all comes together, and when it all comes together and you think back over your 20 hours and go, that works, but it's rare because a lot of the time, and even when you do that, you'll go, oh, now I just got to do this, done it. Oh no, there's another hallway with 50 other puzzles here. I'm all right. But that's not to say it shouldn't be there. I just wish there was more cut-off points. Like, those boxes with the buttons on top, and you've got to make the corners a certain colour.
I don't think I've seen that.
Right, okay.
Spoilers.
Love those puzzles, because when you do them, you open up, you get a little boost.
Oh,
for your
no, I know the one you mean.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Perfect. Love that. More of that, please, and less of the do this to open this door, have this here, there, and hope that it randomly pops up. And then when it does, you open this door, but when you get to the end of it, it's just a hint of another puzzle that you weren't even aware of. That is where it lets itself down. That's
but when you opened that door today, and I was like, oh my
Yeah,
God.
but you, right, okay.
I thought that was
Matt,
cool.
You always love this shit. You
Yeah,
love
like-
TV shows where it's like, oh, it's. Did you understand it, Matt? No, but it's exciting because I don't understand it. I
Yeah,
don't get excited
basically.
by that
Oh,
at
yeah,
all
that stuff I've
because
always
that's lazy to me. And I'm not saying Blueprints is lazy; it's not on that level. But I could create a show where a guy's walking around and he keeps looking at a lever, like a feather on the floor. And you go, oh, what's the feather about? What's the feather about? Do you know what I mean? It's like it's easy to do that shit.
Yeah, but the best ones are like, Severance and Lost and Dark. Is are the ones where it's like, what's happening? And eventually,
Severance fucking pushes that though. It pushes
Yeah.
that to the fucking limit.
anyone could, as you say, write a script which is like loads of random stuff. But the best ones bring it all together, and this I think ultimately will. And it's like fascinating to see
But I
how far
don't
this
think
deep
it
goes, how
ultimately
far
will.
this rabbit
I
hole
think
goes.
it will always be, and I'm not willing to put 170 hours in to see how it pulls it together. Like I'm not.
Well, then you don't deserve the payoff then.
Okay, but that is a fair thing to say, to be fair. But yeah, I don't deserve the payoff. It sounds like Slushy needs to give this game up though.
Well,
already
I mean, they finished it. Well, they've done lots of stuff, but now they're thinking back
Yeah, I know.
and way thinking about the time. But hey,
Yeah, don't worry about that. We're all hurting
Yeah.
towards and never.
chill out, baby, play another game.
Yep.
Next question comes from Fight It ... Don't. Says hello,
Mixed messages.
fairly new listener. I hear you referencing the Office quotes a lot, and I was just wondering what
Guilty.
your favourite episode is.
Oh, it's got to be the pub quiz.
Oh, Christmas special for me.
Oh, Christmas
going-
special is it? Yeah, but which one? One or two? There's two of them.
Well,
Can't
yeah,
pick both.
the second part of it. Oh, sorry, the second. Yeah, the main one with the, I'll say crayons. Are we doing Office spoilers?
Yeah,
or
that was
something?
amazing. That was
Spoil the
amazing.
Office,
Yeah.
What's
Beautiful.
because I've only watched it through once, famously for this show. Memories hazy at this point. What's the episode where Gareth ends up? Is it like a work party and he ends up leaving with?
In the sidecar.
Yeah.
That is just as a visual gag. I just think
Yeah,
that's
it was
fucking
incredible, yeah.
Genius. It's
It,
so
it was
good.
that was
It's
the
the
one where they go
quiz
to
one,
New
we'll
York, New
get-
York.
Yeah. Then you get hammered
Yeah,
after the
yeah.
quiz.
Is that
No,
it?
it was, no, it wasn't
Oh,
after
so
the
it was
quiz.
not,
That's
okay.
not the same episode, I don't
Oh,
think.
sorry.
Oh.
No, because the
You
quiz
just
one
tell
ends
me
with
anything.
him
I'll be like,
throwing his shoes
that
over.
one, yeah.
The
yeah.
quiz one ends up with Finchy throwing his shoes over the
Oh,
pub.
yeah, over the pub, yeah. What have you done? Yeah, the Christmas special was stunning.
Oh,
Yeah.
I need to talk to you about The Office, actually. Thankfully, this has come up. Fuck you, James Farley.
Why?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
me and the kids watched American
yeah.
Office. Oh, yeah, we
Yeah.
watched it. We all love it. All right. We watched one episode last night. I was like, oh, Matt's not seen the American Office. And we've started watching it with Harry. It was horrifically not appropriate for his
Really?
age.
Which
Yeah.
It was a
first
sexual
series,
harassment
first
one.
series.
Oh,
Yeah, and there was lots of where Dwight asks where the clitoris is.
Yeah. It was a
don't know.
And I'm
sexual
sitting
harassment
next to
one.
my
Biology,
11-year-old
mate.
son, and we were like,
Nothing wrong with
off. No,
Yeah, but
it's-
again,
it's
it's
like-
like I know, but like when we watched it, like Rachel's older and stuff like that. It's like
yeah, but Rachel's not the one that was buying all the merch, was it? It was Asher.
No, that's true. Yeah, that is true. But it's
Not
fine.
happy with you,
It's
James.
fine. It's fine.
Not happy with you at all. We turned it off. We're gonna watch. What did we decide to watch instead?
We'll watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine after that.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Yeah, we'll watch that with
That's-
him. But
that's
then
what
even
I
that
said.
had a couple of moments in.
but-
I was kind of like, ooh.
This is off fair chat, but I do want to ask you about the clitoris question after we record.
yeah, seriously though, where is it?
I'll send you a link.
It's a Greek island, I think, but I'm not. Let's move on.
The next question, oh god, comes from Ivana Goblyanobov. You all right?
Yeah, I like that one.
They say, do you remember what
Not
your
for me.
first celebrity crush was, and how do you feel about them now?
Yes.
Oh, we've spoken about this
I
before.
think we've done this before, haven't we?
Yeah, mine was 100% Nell McAndrew. Oh my god,
yeah,
like
yeah.
proper like crush.
Yeah, I never. Yeah. Well, it wasn't really for me, but I mean, she's always an FHM, so I get it.
No, it wasn't that. It was she was Lara Croft.
Yeah.
Oh right, yeah, I guess, yeah. Just
Fuck.
felt more like an FHM person to me. Mine
Lara
was
Croft, mate?
Joey Halliwell from the Spice Girls.
Yep.
I prefer Baby Spice, but I
When
could
you-
see that.
Surely you had one earlier than that, though.
I mean, that was 13. I'm just thinking more like the "Say You'll Be There" video. Maybe.
Yes, no, that was an awakening.
I was 13. Who knows? I mean, maybe there was one before.
The earliest one I can remember was the video for "Ooh Ah Just a Little Bit" with Gina G.
Oh,
That was good. Enjoyed that. You know, it's just like it's really weird being able to remember being like, oh, I fancy someone. Like, just hadn't occurred to me before then.
yeah. I'm probably revealing too much now, but fuck it. That's what I do on this show.
That's fine. Is this
When
first wank story or something, or is this?
no, I haven't had. What do you mean wank? I haven't had one of them.
Okay.
No,
What-
no.
what-
So
what- okay,
when
Matt,
I was
what are you
younger,
building up
First
to?
wank tonight. Let's go.
live on Twitch.
Sign up for our Patreon, patreon.com/TCGS for our new Talks Over series.
Seaman calls. You know, so when I was in school and the FHM's kind of 100 sexist women list would come out, and it was like, look at
Yeah,
her.
everyone did. Yeah, that was.
Yeah,
fucking hell,
I
a
would.
different time.
I mean, you know,
See, why would you get that? Why not just buy a copy of Razzle or whatever? You know?
because I was
Well, no,
13.
because it was.
Exactly.
Were too
I asked
sensitive
this
for
question
that sort
again,
of
Matt. Why didn't you just buy?
Because
I
FHM I could get
wanna
W.S.
see
Smiths or John
everything.
Menzies, and porn I had to go to a forest for. So, anyway, the thing would come out every year, hot ton of 100 sexist women, and they were, oh yeah, she's hot, she's fit. But I would often say, well, I don't know them, so I can't really comment. You know, I would.
You're
I'd like-
sapiosexual. It's fine.
yeah, I'm like, you know, I don't know Louise Nerding. You know, I mean, she's obviously an attractive woman, but I
There's
didn't
virtue
fancy her.
signalling, Matt, and then there's virtue signalling.
No, but I didn't know her. So how can I
know
fancy her? I don't know.
I know.
It's probably me being weird.
I know James's first crush, celebrity when he was younger. Yeah,
Ian
that
Lee,
he
wasn't it?
fancied. Did you not? Am I allowed to say?
I don't know because I don't know.
I
who
know,
you're
and
talking
before
about.
you do, can you give us hints? Because I don't remember.
Oh yeah, we have clues.
See if we can work it out.
Yeah, can you give me a hint?
Singer
Yeah.
was big when James was younger.
Hang on. Shirley Bassey?
I was going to say, I was trying to think of a singer from like the 40s.
Yeah.
Well, you've already guessed it. I was going to say Vera Lynn, but
Is it Sinatra?
you've absolutely ruined it. Just let me do the joke, Matt. Like, you fucking ruined that.
Or improved
I did a
it.
pun joke that was higher than Matt Murray level this week,
Whoa.
and he did
on.
not like it. He
Yeah,
did
what-
not like
what was
it.
that?
I did like Matt's vibes one. I thought that was pretty good.
What was the vibes one?
Oh, that was an Instagram thing. You
What
know,
was it?
there's like this new potato-based product in the shops called Vibes, and they're basically like a mixture of like a crisp and a chip.
Oh, I saw this. Yeah.
And I said, I bought these, and past the sell-by date, the vibes are off.
My one was the one in the street WhatsApp group where someone was blaming someone else in the road for posting things through people's letterboxes, and the guy said, "No, it can't be me. I'm in Belize." And I replied, "I don't believe it." It was good, man. And
Yeah, it is good. They didn't fill me with joy.
Right, this has gone off the rails. Should we do one more?
Sorry, I was just look.
Oh,
Right, I better read the next question. I realise I've got a tab open with Gina G on it.
Save that for later, Sean.
I've got a tab with Vera Lynn on it.
I've got the Spice Girls Say With Air video up on it, and
We've all,
I
all
need-
got
I
our
need some
weaknesses,
Matthew
haven't we? Next question comes from Sue Stray. How's it going, mate? Over the last few years, he's a friend. I should probably
Oh, okay,
point
that's
out.
getting personal.
It's not me being over familiar. Over the
Sean,
last
this was
few-
me again.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm taking.
Over the last few years, I've changed getting my haircut from just a plain cut to now getting a haircut, beard trimmed, nose waxed, eyebrows done, ears singed, and best of all, hot towels.
I do exactly this, Sister. I do exactly. I'm here.
No,
I'm
you
in the
don't.
barber for like 45 minutes now. It's great.
No, you fucking don't. You don't.
Yes, I fucking do.
What hair are you getting cut, Matt?
The hair that grows on my head, and I get a foil.
Annoyingly,
foil.
going bald
Yeah.
doesn't actually mean.
There's more
100%.
work. It's every week now.
Yeah, it's really annoying.
Oh, shut up. Go on.
What's something that as you've gotten older, you've changed to enjoy the added extras that as a younger person you couldn't have seen happening? Cheers, guys. Keep up the always stellar work.
car wash. Paying a little bit more to get some wax on there. Yep, thank you very much. I'll have that.
Do you go to
£2
the hand
extra.
ones or the machine ones?
Hand ones or the machine
Yeah.
ones are terrible.
Yeah,
I
they
like
always
machine
miss.
ones.
They miss the rims, don't they?
They do. Yeah, it's weird because I know the machine one isn't as good, but I think it's because as a kid,
But you don't have
I
to
always,
talk to someone, Sean, do you?
Well, there is
So-
that. Yeah, I don't want to talk to anyone. And
They always
as a
looked
kid, I
exciting,
always-
didn't they, Sean?
as a,
As well.
as a kid, I always wanted to go in the machine one, and Dad was always like, "No, it's too expensive." And now I'm like, I can afford that. And that's
Jesus,
fine.
someone's earning. Someone's
I'm
doing
better
real
than
well
my
for themselves.
dad.
I'm better than my dad. Yeah.
Have you, Sean, been in the car with your dad and done it with him in the car? And you're like, look,
Excuse me.
you know, what I mean. Have you taken your dad into a car wash?
Episode title.
Have you shagged your dad? That's what it's called.
No. And also not taking him through a car wash.
Okay.
I
To
got
completion.
I got two machine car washes stories. One is when I took Charlie into one for the first time because it is exciting for kids, isn't it?
Oh yeah, Energy loves it. Yeah.
Yeah, we watched before we went in as we were queuing up for ages. I bought up car wash fails, and it was like loads of people that forgot to put their
Final
window down
Destination.
or whatever, and it,
Yeah, drowning and all
And we were
sorts.
laughing about that. I drove in, I forgot to put the window up.
Oh, I bet you love that.
So I
Though.
ran in. Charlie went, no. And I was like, "Oh."
That's also a core
Also-
memory now.
This will make you go, oh, I guarantee it. Jo called me once and
Oh,
said she'd
too soon.
broken one of these machine car wash things.
Oh, fuck.
She moved when it was in operation.
Oh my god.
Oh, they say you should do it. They say you should not do that.
All sorts of signs tell me not to do that.
What, she just drove forward?
Yeah, it started and she was like, oh, I think I'm not close enough.
The
Move
machine
forward.
knows. It will
No,
tell
she
you.
doesn't, mate. No, she doesn't. She
No, the
doesn't know
machine
that.
knows, I said.
Oh, the machine.
Yeah.
The machine knows she moved.
No, the machine knows
Naughty.
if you're in the right place or not. It would tell you.
I know. It just wouldn't start. I don't know. It was a big episode, and now she can never get the car washed ever again.
Yeah.
Apparently.
She bad.
No.
She drives into the forecourt like, oi, no, get out.
Yeah. Her picture's up behind the fucking thing. Yeah.
But yes, I do all that
How did we
Sustra,
get onto this?
and it's fun, isn't it? A bit of a hot towel. Also, they've now got a new thing in my barbers where it's kind of like a mini sauna where it's like a steam thing that sprays in your face and they put a towel in it, so you just like keeps all the steam around your face. It's quite a traditional barbers where it's like lots of old men getting, black and sides, and I'm there for like 45 minutes with a beard trim, a head shave, a hot towel, and they're probably
How
thinking, who is
much?
this prick? That's all 20 quid.
That's
It's,
really good.
it's 10 just for the head and 20 odd for all the rest of it. Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
See, because it's £15. My new one is £15 for a haircut, and they don't do Charles prices.
Get me a
So we're paying £45 a month just to go to the barbers. It's fucking killing me. It's killing me.
That is a lot.
I wish I had. I think I do need something like this, where I allow myself to be a little bit pampered, because I think it's a nice thing to do.
Yeah, I've got clippers at home, Louis. So just to give you the full history, when I was at the family
Sean,
home,
just maybe think about the sentence about tonight.
what did you just say? What bit of pampered?
So when, the week before I got married, New and I both went for a mani-pedi, and it was really nice.
I'll have to do. I've never done that before.
You should.
There's
can't
Yeah.
do
one
any
thing
of
about
these
getting
things.
one, but there's another thinking you deserve it. Like there's
What do you
a
mean?
difference.
Oh, but before the wedding, why not?
No,
Or just
but
in
that's not what
general?
he said. He said, I'm at a point now where I think, actually, I deserve a bit of pampering. I can't ever think I deserve it. Like, I'm almost apologetic when I walk in there.
That's the problem.
Oh, that's good. That is a fair point.
Yeah, so when I used to live at the family home, I would shave my head myself if Sunday night, and then Jill would finish the last bit off in case I missed a bit. I'm off to go on my own now, so I'm not going to risk that and have a little
Get a
ponytail.
fucking mirror.
I do have a mirror. I've got mirrors in this house, mate. I'm earning. I'm doing well for myself. I've got loads of mirrors.
So do you have a foil, Matt? To do your
No,
hair?
I should probably buy one. But I'd
They are
go to the place. They do it for me. I walk out done. No cleaning the bathroom. Anyway,
Yeah, fair point.
yeah, it's nice, and I don't mind. That makes me feel nice. So I think that's fine, isn't it? That's fine. I could
The only problem
I could
with-
get the foil done at home, sure, but I don't know.
James, doesn't Chen do your hair?
Yeah, she does. I mean, she hasn't
I
done it for a
love the
while.
fact that James.
which is
I
hence-
cannot imagine
hence it
James in a
mess.
barber.
No,
Can't
especially
imagine.
I hate
when,
it. I this is one of the things that I enjoyed about not going there anymore because I fucking hate it. Like I just.
Why?
What? It's like
'Cause it's
15
just
minutes in and
annoying
out.
sitting in front of a mirror, looking at yourself, and just being like, "You look fucking awful," and then
you
just
don't
like
need to look at yourself though. I think I've looked.
No, just
fucking
plan a
awful. I just don't
casserole.
look at myself.
Yeah,
do
do
it, and
something
then
else.
also like just all the chatter and all that. I just
That's
don't,
the So the last time I went to the barber started coming out with some political opinions.
Oh yeah, we moved
and
barbers
had,
because of that
yeah.
before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You moved to a worse one. So this isn't right wing
Racist
enough.
No, they were left wing.
Yeah, I mean, so I started using eye thing. What do you even call them? The eye things you put on your eyes. They're quite nice as well. 20
Cucumbers,
minutes.
like slices of cucumbers.
No, you bought actual eye strips, eye patches. I don't know.
Wait, hold on. Do they do anything?
They make me feel nice, and I
Yeah,
do
but
think they
that's
do help
fine.
with like the dark circles around the eyes. So if I'm going out, get them on.
I could probably
lovely
use
old job.
those. Yeah. That's a
Nothing
good
wrong with
involved.
Mate, I've got bigger troubles than the fucking dark patches under my eyes. I've got all sorts going on with this face.
I'm a certified.
That's
These are like
the least-
£4.
The
Well-
drop in the ocean when you look like this, mate.
Get some
I
eye
mean,
patches on. Eye strips.
Look
Love
like
them.
people just assume they're shadows from the bulbousness. There's nothing
Well,
you can do
get an
about
eye
it.
strip on. You might find, very glowy.
I don't want any sort of trying to divert attention from the eyes. And oh my god, the person that we saw when they were getting a tattoo, did you hear what they said? I sort of recognised the eyes. I was
Oh,
like, yeah, everyone
yeah.
recognised the fucking eyes.
Thanks.
Yeah. These guys, they're famous.
Look like a fish.
Shouldn't
Is
say
that
that.
it?
Not to your face.
We
Move on.
should probably wrap up, should we?
Yeah.
I can do a short one
Okay.
from Grim Gnarly. I was so excited to hear my question read out on my favourite podcast that I immediately
Oh.
paused it, rewound to the start, and rushed into my wife's office to play it for her. I beamed with righteous pride, awaiting her response, only to receive one word: "Nerd." Have you ever had your
I mean,
heart broken?
Got him.
Have you
She go, you
ever
bad.
had your
No,
heart
come back.
broken by a supposed loved one after
Yes.
exclaiming your excitement? Next question. After exclaiming your excitement for a game / console or related experience.
Yeah, constantly.
Yeah.
Like Joe is anti-video games. She's anti anything that I like. And whenever I go, no, look, and she's like, this is shit, David. And I go, okay, sorry. I'm so sorry you had to marry me.
But it's amazing you're still like pushing after a while. I was like,
Yeah,
what's
I
the
don't-
point of me saying, look at this video, look at it? It's like, there's no.
It's
Neither
I
very
don't
one
rare
even
is.
bother
now.
anymore. What's
Yeah,
the
there's
It
point?
is,
point.
yeah,
No
it's
need, mate.
very, very rare that I actually push for this shit now. But I'm still proud of being a nerd. Like I genuinely am. Like I
Oh, I'm
really
proud of
don't-
it, but I'm
really
not going
do
to like say,
care.
hey, look at this. And she's like, well, no, it's wasting my time and her time. Now I'll
Yeah,
just say
'cause
to
even
myself
if-
in the mirror,
Even if they're being supportive, it does often feel like it's the same reaction as when like Isaac shows us a drawing he's done or something.
Oh, you 100% it's that. And it just hit me. She never turns around to me and goes, "Look at this video on my phone,"
No.
or
Yeah.
"Here's what's happening in my book."
See, new will occasionally, but it'll be
Shit.
like Archbishop of Banterbury or something. I'll be like, yeah, saw it 3 months ago.
Oh,
that's
great.
the thing, isn't it?
This is a
That's
problem.
the thing.
This is a problem because all our friends are like this as well, right?
Yep.
And I'm like it a little bit as well. If someone sends you a video that you've always seen or already seen, yeah, you need to somehow tell them. And
Yeah.
I don't know why we need to do that.
I know, yeah.
As
I knew
as
it
a
before you
person,
knew
I
it.
don't know why you need to go, haha, yeah, I saw that last week. You don't need to do that. Just go, haha, that's funny, mate. Look, why have you
yeah,
got to
back in
go,
2014, dickhead.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
I
like, why
saw
can't I
this.
just lie or pretend?
Yeah.
Because in so many cases, I'm happy to see it again. Do you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
not like I'm looking at it and be like, yeah, I don't give a shit. Like, I'm like, oh,
And
yeah,
who's
no,
it
that was
harming?
funny. But
Who's it? Like, what are you getting out of saying, yeah, I've seen that already? Like, what's the...
It's like,
What's
yeah,
the kickback
actually,
there?
I'm so ill that I've seen everything before you have.
I'm so sick.
I spend all my time on TikTok that none of this is new to me. Yeah, I don't know, man. Be proud of being a nerd. I don't care. Joe. Although I joke about Joe, like turning her nose up in anything that I'm interested in. She knows what I'm like, and I know what she's like. We're all right. It's stuff. I don't get angry about it. I feel like I'm talking to myself now.
yeah. Let's move on. I'm not even bothered in a way.
And that's the end of the pod. Matthew, it is time for your favourite part of the show, the socials.
Everyone's favourite part of the show, I think.
Yeah, best bit.
Absolutely not that, is it?
Oh, okay.
We did a poll, I think, didn't we?
Let's move on, David. We've all been a long time. Let's move on.
We've all
James
been
and I
a
are
long
back.
time.
It's been a long time, rather. No.
We've all been a long time.
Yeah.
James and I are back for Splitio Fitch on Split Fiction on Friday night. James is back in the country. I'm available. So yeah, Friday night from 9 p.m. on twitch.tv/TCGS code to see James and I continue Split Fiction. If you have Amazon Prime, a Twitch account, connect them. You get a free sub to give to any channel. Go to our channel, and we'll really appreciate
writing it down. He's writing down I'm available.
Good. Okay. No, it has to be to completion. Anyway, let's move on. Yeah, Split Fiction. You know, I think we're probably like maybe 2 or maybe potentially 3 away from the end. So we're getting there. If you miss the stream live, go to YouTube, search TCGS, and you can see the VODs. And the website is tcgs.co, which has links to our socials, Blue Sky, podcasts, store, Patreon. It's all on there. tcgs.co. And I guess the most important thing is maybe by the time. No, actually, no. Basically, end of the week, next week or so, go on YouTube and you'll see the video of the tattoo.
Yes, the tattoo video will be coming out. And if you are listening to us on YouTube, just have a look at how checked out James Farley is right about now. Just have a look at that. And if you're
I am
not,
so tired. It's like
you are so checked out of this show at this point. I just looked over at you. You had your hand over your mouth like that, sitting back. Don't want to be here anymore. I get it, you're tired, but fucking come on, we're paying you the big bucks.
oh, it's 25-1, and it's like
James had a big weekend down in. Oh no, wait, you weren't there. Big.
I was looking at tulips over a
Yeah,
fence.
you only travelled over the weekend.
You're in the
Your
car.
brain should still be on UK time.
Yeah.
Hey David,
is-
I'm 6
Yeah, right,
miles
well, there we
away,
go.
but that includes walking. We will catch you next week. Thanks for living it. Just a thought. We'll catch you soon. Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.